Yeah, I thought Z would be working all weekend. Instead, here I am, and here he is.
Oh, cool. Oh, nice.
Hello,
So,
Z.
well, Draco, you were right. I should have prepared a little something for him, and I did. So, hooray!
Yeah.
Because if I hadn't, I would be like, well, then. Sammy said, things done well with care acceptance cells from fear. What? Sam, you're not able to use voice chat today?
Yes, I am. It's because if I quote things, I feel cringe.
Sure. Okay. Alright.
Doesn't look like my problem is going away anytime soon.
What?
I'm gonna have to deal with a lot of window management here, but I guess I could be worse. Could be much worse. So long as I find the right ones. So, the hell? Oh, Windows. Always doing weird shit. Anyway, is everyone ready?
Let's go adjust the volume on my phone.
Okay.
Okay, I got my
Remember,
water.
button
Some
is mute
is-
or disconnect.
So the stream should be up. It's not gonna look any good, it's just gonna look like a stream nonetheless.
Well, you can still see the window, so that's good.
Yeah, but now it's in the whole screen capture instead of the whole the cool window capture that shows just the important bits. But anyway, so everyone's there.
Yeah, phone I know you don't like being on.
Also, I think indeed we're gonna be down one only for the day.
Bummer. It's always more fun with
Aw.
them around.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Also, I'm gonna have to control his character, and that is definitely not gonna work out very well. But let's see how this goes.
I mean, you could always make it covering.
beer.
Come again?
Will he make more beer?
Of course, to make more beat.
Probably.
That only could be inside recovered from last night's ordeal.
True that. Which reminds me, I have to check up the rules on exhaustion, how that works again.
If you have 1 point of exhaustion, all ability checks are at disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean,
Damn.
for recovering from exhaustion.
Long rest.
So
What's up, Sam?
I was gonna make a question, but it's not related to the game really.
Alright. Sorry, I'm just kinda gathering my pens. They have decided to fly away all over the place. But anyway, here we are, everyone. Everyone has the game window open and ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you know if I have an issue.
Okay. So, last week we left off on, well, you guys left from Capaya all the way in, you know, the northern kingdoms. Finally left the continent of Ozenfell. Now you have went and made a pit stop in Ra, which is a little island in the middle of the way. Which has been kind of insightful in some ways. And you also got to meet Hilstol, Draken's older brother. Well, not the older, but one of his older brothers.
He's cute.
And you guys also fought a very tricky and technical creature, but you succeeded in doing so. And that was perhaps one of your first tests of, you know, dealing with those warrior somethings people have keep saying that you guys are gonna find in the new world. So
Yeah, tell me about it.
what happened last time around is that after returning to the Hunters Guild itself, to the Godslayers base camp, you talked with Husto. You kind of got some weird vibes from him, but you finished the deal nonetheless, and he gave Dracon a silver rapier, wasn't it?
Yep.
It was a normal rapier, except that it's silvered, so nothing magical about it.
Yeah, I have none of my items.
Draco
And
got
yeah.
like
Yeah, so basically it means that any
if there's any enemy that has vulnerability to silver attacks, the sword's gonna work, but on normal enemy it's not gonna make any difference.
Yeah.
But anyway, after doing that, you guys reconvene on the outside the tent, and after talking with Captain Giuseppe, he lets you guys know that he'll just conclude some business, and then he'll prepare to leave Capaya and finally finally leave Ra and go to Lunderland in the New World. Is there anything you guys want to do in this meantime?
Alright. So we're just kinda are we on the boat?
No,
Sorry, I
you're
missed that.
still on the island. You're still
Okay,
in the
so we're
middle of
still
the
on the
camp.
there is something I want to do.
Sure, Sam, what is it that you want to do?
I'm gonna go and pray at the temple again.
Once again. Alright. So it's not necessarily a temple, it's more like a little construction,
Right.
kind of just a little
Right.
statue. But anyway, you arrive in the statue of this little shrine that they have erected to Gaffador. And there you are. And you're gonna pray to him. Sam?
Yeah, but first, since doesn't look like we're gonna be fighting, at least not now, gonna use this to enhance my intelligence.
Your intelligence.
Yes.
Alright, let me read on what that does. You touch a creature and bestow upon him magical enhancement. So you can increase your intelligence. Where does that say is that?
No, it just gives you an advantage on intelligence checks.
Okay, intelligence checks would be. Let me check the skills again because I have no idea what is what. Intelligence checks would be
Arcana, history,
animal handling, I think.
religion.
History, investigation, and some other things. You would get advantage on those checks.
Then I'm gonna pray again, because last time that went well.
Okay, so you cast enhance ability on yourself. Go ahead and mark that. And then you pray. So roll religion. Roll a religion check with advantage. So roll twice.
Let me just I put one spell slot down and religion.
Okay, you rolled an 8. Now roll again.
Come on. That's
better.
Okay. So you pray to this little shrine of Gaffador. Is there something specifically you want to pray for?
I'm just gonna say basically what I said last time, but also gonna say that kind of like apologize because the last time I was in a bad mood, so that might have made my judgment be worse.
So you're gonna ask for forgiveness.
Yes.
Alright, you approach the shrine and you pray and ask for forgiveness to Gaffador, even though he's not your the Almighty you deeply believe in. This is another God entirely. You pray to him for his forgiveness, and you kind of feel you definitely feel something. You feel like there's a kind of a soothness that washes over you, but nothing too specific or nothing too big. You just feel a little bit more relaxed.
Okay then.
But other than that, nothing else happens. And you also feel a slight bad omen, like you feel relaxed, but at the same time you have this inner feeling that something might go wrong.
Okay.
And that's that. Anything else anyone else
So-
wanna do?
Done, but I'm gonna go and return to where everyone else is, so that if they need, I'm there.
Okay. So
Okay.
you
So
quickly
besides-
find the group. They're still standing there, kind of discussing things amongst themselves.
Hey, Hentai, Matthias.
Yeah. What's up?
Can you two put on a show while I peruse the camp for supplies? I do a kind of raised eyebrow.
You want us to play some music, maybe? Get some people.
Yep.
Insert Dropkick Murphy song here.
Who is gonna play?
Z and Tiger.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'm gonna assist Z on some performancing.
So, do you want me to enhance one of them?
Can you do that again?
I can. I have one spell, lots of level 2 left.
Sure. You can enhance one of them again if you wish to do so.
Which one should I do it?
Up to them.
Since it's performance, I would say go with Tiger.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna choose him over the bard? Okay.
Well, let's put it this way: the bard has advantage in performance overall. Tiger doesn't.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Then I use again enhance ability to enhance charisma.
For Matthias.
Yes.
Okay. So you approach Matthias, you have not ever heard him play, but you see him kind of producing an instrument from his backpack, and you feel like you wonder if he'll be able to keep up with hentai, so you decide to bless him to make sure that he does it well.
Before they start playing, I'm just gonna start wandering through and see if I can notice anything of value. Silver arrows, anything special.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else want to do anything? Anything else? Anyone else want to do
Nope.
anything else?
Well,
I'm just gonna.
if I see Dracon looking all sneaky, looking for stuff, I'm definitely interested. So.
All right. So Matthias and Hentai, go ahead and roll for performance. Matthias, a roll with advantage.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Hantai, if you're gonna play something, I will follow your lead. Alright, gotta roll again.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Down
Oh,
in-
10s. But
Is
what's
that a-
Hantai
that is
getting?
loud.
All right. Oh boy.
Natural 20.
Oh, hey, natural 20.
All right. So, Tiger, you know how to play your. What is it that you're playing again? It's a lute.
I'm playing a lute.
Okay, so you know how to play a lute. You have played it before, but you have never really stopped to try and learn. So you it takes a while for the notes and chords to come to you. So you're slowly plucking at the strings, and then out of nowhere, Hentai just jumps up behind you and starts doing a really overwhelming bagpipe solo behind you.
I'm enjoying it.
At that rate, everybody on the camp is like totally entranced on this whole performance. Although, Matthias, you do notice that they pay more attention on you. I mean, they pay more attention on Hentai than on you. But anyway, the both of you playing together definitely increase morale around the camp. Everybody is happier and more relaxed after hearing some music, which as you can see, they don't hear a whole lot of over here. So while everyone is in higher moods, Dracon, I'm gonna go and say that you can roll investigation with advantage.
Okay. I can roll right now, so yay.
Oh, great.
9.
I forgot you played
That's
the song.
decent.
Okay,
That's a
so
good roll.
because of Hentai's performance, you find more than one person who is very eager to do trade and whatnot. So you do indeed find people that are willing to sell silver arrows, even though they don't have a whole lot of them.
Okay.
But you do
Is that
find
about all they're gonna sell then, I'm guessing?
you do find one vendor that is selling 10 silver arrows. And just because just because you were feeling you were inquiring more about silver whatever they have, you do hear one of them mentioning that they have some silver ore left over that they might sell for you if you want.
How much is the silver ore?
So you show up to them and ask about prices and whatnot. Let me find over here because I don't have those stats on me. But they do tell you that the 10 silver arrows are gonna be around 50 gold for the 10.
For 10?
Yeah, 10
50, yeah.
silver arrows are gonna be 50 gold. Or rather 5 for each. If you wanna buy a lower number of arrows.
And how much is the silver ore?
I'm trying to look that up, I have no idea.
Buy silver ore with gold. That makes a lot of sense.
I'm gonna say that each pound of unrefined silver ore is 2 gold. It is gonna take some treatment and some skill to make it into usable silver, but it is a pound of silver for 2 gold, and they have around 37 pounds of silver if you wanna buy that.
Is Flint with me?
Yeah, I see you looking around for stuff, and I'm just curious. What are you doing?
Ask you what you think of the silver ore price.
Honestly, don't know about prices. I just try and make shit into other shit,
Flint, I'm gonna go ahead and say that you can roll intelligence check.
Intelligent.
And okay.
Oh.
You figure out that with the silver ore, if you were to take some time and research that, you could possibly make silver ammunition. You could get your shell casings, or rather the bullets that you're firing with your gun, with your hand cannon. You could kind of replace the casing instead of have it made with iron. You can make it with silver. It'll take some adjustments, and you still have yet to learn how to make the bullets themselves. But if you do learn that, you think that you can also learn how to make silver bullets. You don't know how many you could make with a pound of silver though, but you feel like you could make bullets if you wanted.
Alright. I'm definitely interested in that silver ore, because these regular old bullets did nothing to that, whatever that thing was. But I'm poor.
Yeah, I mean, our banker
You said
probably knows how
you
much we.
2 gold for 1 pound?
Come again?
So it was 2 gold for 1 pound of ore?
Yes.
I'll buy 1 pound for flint just so we can start tinkering or whatever?
I'm gonna need a
Alright.
forge at some point.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
do that by hand. You're gonna need to refine that orb first. But you could go ahead and get that.
Yeah. Have him mark that down in his ledger, because that's going to him. That pound.
Alright, so mark that you have 1 pound of unrefined silver ore, or just silver ore. And that will be 2 gold. Draken.
Okay, I paid for that. And how much for silver arrows again?
It'll be 5 gold piece for each silver arrow. They have up to 10.
So 10 is 50 gold.
With all the silver I have about 13 gold on me.
And theoretically, Flint, you should still have a few fire arrows that ranger gave you.
I have 2.
Yeah, you have those still. So that's still something.
Okay.
Oh, and I'm still carrying around that maul. I'll have to sell that at some point.
Can I?
Or use it.
We'll make a deal. 5 arrows will cost me 25 gold.
Yes.
So how about I give you 10 gold in this last azurite for 5?
Boy, how much was the azurite again? Do you have a price for that?
Gold.
About 15.
15 gold. Roll a persuasion roll.
Uh-oh. Come on.
Yeah, I'm seeing if I'm fine right now. Hang on.
Because you try to haggle with the merchant.
No.
And while they do like trade goods, they have very little use for that. So this merchant just declines and says nope. It's the gold or nothing.
Damn it.
$20 gold for 4, then.
Alright, so mark those off.
Getting all this gold from. Jeez.
Mark off 20 gold and mark
And
that you have.
I'm gonna give those. I'm just gonna put those arrows in Matthias's quiver when I see him.
Oh, okay, so you're gonna give the arrows to him. Because you do have
Yeah.
a silver rapier, that makes sense. Alright. So that was 22 gold you spent in here already.
I said 20.
Uh,
Oh yeah, 22 total. Yeah. Never mind.
For the silver ore as well.
Yeah, 20 gold, but how are you getting all this gold from? I certainly don't have any of it.
I pawned off some of the gems back in Burgos, and I've been using it for whatever we all need.
Alright, well, I appreciate you doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be 200 kilometers. 300. Cool. Okay. Will that be all?
Do you have anything else other than this?
The merchant, he looks around his whatever he has, and at first it seems like he has nothing, but then he looks a little bit harder, kind of looking over at you guys and seeing who you are and how ill-equipped you are to deal with those kinds of creatures, and he produces a silver sword that he is willing to sell.
I'm a little scared to ask, but how much is it?
He roll a perception check.
Perception?
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Okay, so he tells you that it's 150 gold for the silver
What?
sword, But you notice that when he produces the silver sword, you can see that it's already has been used, and it's not in the best condition. It'll take some some, you know, some sharpening and some reforging here and there. So it's definitely not worth all that gold, but that's what he's asking for you.
Oh god, you really trying to pass off that piece of crap?
Well, you see, we have this, and we have nothing to do with this. If you want it, it's yours for 150 gold.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Anyone that comes here and knows anything about swords, they may run you through with it if you throw that price at them. So be a little honest. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm just giving you fair warning. The right person comes along and they see you trying to pass that thing off for 150 gold, they'll most likely buy it and stab you in the back with it.
Alright, fine. Alright. If you want it, still, the real price for this will be 50 gold. It's not in great condition, but it should still do some damage against were creatures.
So is it a short sword or a long sword, or could you tell?
It's a long sword.
A long sword. Okay.
Can Matthias use that? I'm just curious.
I think you can.
Yeah, I can use long swords. I just would be using my strength modifier and not my
Well, technically you can use either.
dexterity. Yeah, it's a versatile weapon, so I could use it two-handed as well if need be.
I'm just checking. So, you said 50 gold?
50 gold and it's yours. It's still lined with silver, so it should still be effective. It's just not in great condition.
We would just have to take some time to get it
Yeah.
sharpened
We'll
and
have
stuff.
we'll have to get it to someone that's proficient in forging to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you 40 gold and 100 silver.
40 gold and 100 silver. That is
Well,
50 gold, but
100 silver is 10 gold technically.
yeah.
Yeah.
Deal, he says, and he puts the silver longsword in the counter for you.
Okay.
So go ahead and mark off your money.
You may have to mark it off for me, Doug.
Oh, okay. So that was 40 gold and 100 silver.
Yep.
You have been keeping our bankrolls.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I have been bankrolling all of you.
And
Hey. If you need more funds, I'll flip you some silver. I've still got about 10 gold on me.
and you're gonna give that sword to Matthias.
Yep.
Okay,
I'm
Matthias.
sure
Matthias-
you
carrying
can put that in attack while he's playing
Come again?
later.
Okay.
I was just gonna ask because oh right, you don't know how much are you carrying right now, Dracon?
Well, since I unloaded all that gold, I don't know, because my internet's bullshit.
You have around.
enough.
Well, you have some money still. But Matthias, go ahead and
Okay.
mark off that you have got now a long sword. It's the same modifiers as a normal long sword, but it's -1 to hit and for damage.
All right, so let me just do that real quick here.
So just write that you have a silvered long sword -1.
Silvered longsword -1, and it's just a -1 to damage
And to hit.
attack.
So when you roll
Okay.
for attack, it's -1, and when you roll for damage, it's a -1, but at a minimum of 1. So even if you roll a 1, you're still gonna deal damage. It's just not gonna be great.
Alright. And let's see, that'd be
Yeah, because you can't roll 0 damage.
Yeah. If he hits, he hits.
just 1,
0 equals.
and then the 1d8. -1.
And is
Now,
there?
the Silver Rapier doesn't count until it does damage to the...
Come again?
No, silver damage doesn't come into play, so it's just treated as a normal sword, right?
Yeah, it's a silver rapier. It deals normal damage, but creatures that are susceptible to silver damage, they take that silver damage. But
Okay.
In the case of the wereboard that you guys fought against, normal damage wasn't doing anything to it. That's what you guys have noticed. So if you wanted to deal some damage, you had to do it with magical means or some other means.
Yeah, I had to blow my action sword for that fire arrow.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? Anyone else want to do?
Not
So
bad.
so -1.
I noticed Onel is missing. Anybody know where Onel went?
No.
Last I saw, he'd found one of the hunters coming back and wandered off with him. That was but that was like a while ago.
I haven't seen him since that either.
Huh.
That was around when you guys were butchering the boar and making rations. He picked up some and then left and vanished. And you
By
haven't
the
seen
way-
him since. It's been at least 5 or 6 hours.
I can
Should
use
we
my
pick
stuff.
him up some more wheat? Because I know we just blew the last of it. They have any?
Sure.
They have what? Wheat.
I doubt they would have any wheat.
They would
Any
have,
type
yes.
of grain?
They would have not a whole lot. The wheat that they have is partially what Giuseppe brought with him on these trade runs that he's running around. So
I meant it in town. Would we?
uh,
In
you
the markets.
you mean this town here?
Yeah, this town.
Yeah, part of the wheat that they have is somewhat the one that Giuseppe brought. Because
okay.
since they're kind of far away from other communities, they exist more of meat and game. And wheat and other stuff like that, it comes through trade. They don't produce it here.
Okay, so it's more valuable to them than
Yeah.
meat. Got it.
And they
so
don't
I
have a
wouldn't
whole
buy
lot of
any
it. So you can just buy endless supplies of wheat here. So you wanna buy wheat for Oni, for Onel.
Yeah, not a whole lot, just enough for him to continue experimenting.
Alright. So I don't remember what is the price of wheat. Let me find that. And
1 pound of wheat is a copper.
1 pound of wheat is a copper. Cool. I probably have that noted down somewhere, just haven't been keeping track of that.
In the player's handbook.
Yeah, pretty much. 1 copper per pound of wheat. Alright, so unfortunately for you, here it's a little bit more worth. It's more expensive. It's 5 coppers per pound. If you want to buy any.
Okay, how much will 1 silver get me?
1 silver. Damn, that would get you. Boy, let's make some math. That'll be 100 divided by 5. That will get you 20 pounds of wheat, which is all they are willing to sell.
Okay, I'll get 1 silver worth of wheat for now.
Alright.
Just mark that down in his, because...
In his. Alright.
I crashed.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No! You're
Actually,
crashing and I'm having internet issues.
Poor guys.
I'm
Yeah.
always crashing though.
Alright,
I know.
so
You are.
only he has, come again, 20 pounds of wheat. Yeah, that should do it.
Okay.
Good. I charge my phone.
And that's it. Anything else you guys want to do before you depart to Lundeland? With Giuseppe and the rest of the crew.
Well, I'm assuming we're all headed back to the boat by now, just because our time here is over.
Yeah. So all of you came here yesterday. You spent the night. You
Also,
Sam.
when we are entering the boats, please don't laugh at me for saying this. When we're entering the boats as a party, I just say in this kind of
You're not in the boat yet.
No, that's
when we are when we're entering the boats.
You're still not going to the boat.
Ah, damn it!
I was just gonna get to that. You came here yesterday. You hunted the boar that your Houston asked you guys to. You came back. He gave you the silver rapier. You did some butchering. Then you guys went and slept over here. So you guys did a long rest. Then the day started. You did some last minute trading. You talked to some people here and there. And then you finally, all of you collectively as a group, gathered yourselves and went to the docks to depart with Giuseppe and the rest of the crew towards Lundeland. And as you were going, you noticed Onel kind of just following you guys a little bit bow-legged and slower than usual.
No, you doing all right?
Yes, I'm doing all right. Just I had too much beans last night.
Do
You
you?
got a limp going.
Can I fix that? Can I fix your over there?
Matthias just looks and chuckles and says, "I'm sure he'll be fine. He probably just needs to rest. He'll have plenty of time to do that
Just
on the
sleep,
boat."
sleep it off.
Speaking of which,
Put ice on it.
Okay.
I just need more beans, is what Onel says before he keeps going on.
well, we got you more wheat to play with, so
You guys hand the wheat to Onel, and you see his eyes perk up a little bit at the prospect of that. And he says, "I'm gonna go make some more beer." And then he runs off. Well, runs, quote unquote, off. He tries to run, but he kind of hops in place a little bit towards
If you
the
do
end of
some-
the docks.
If you do some good one, come see me.
So as you guys are walking down the docks, you are approaching the boat, the ship rather. You see Giuseppe, Agnes, and Houston talking to one another. And as you approach,
Oh, God.
you see Houston is saying, "But anyway, be careful over there, and best of luck. I would say you will have an easier time going south and weaving your way through the islands." At which Giuseppe just looks and answers, "Well then, if we have to go that way, I guess we will go that way. No reason to risk ourselves like that." And then Agnes just kind of perks up a little bit and says, "And please, do let us know if possible if there's anything else going on. So we will keep that in mind." And then he opens up her book that she carries around with her wherever she goes and starts jotting down some notes. And then she looks up and sees you guys coming, and she closes her book quickly and runs over to you and says, hey guys, we're going somewhere else today.
where are we going?
We're going to Dorf instead of going to Lundeland.
Where the hell is that?
I'm sure the captain would explain to you guys. I don't mean to rush, but well, and then
Well-
you see her demeanor kind of lowers, and she has a kind of a sunken, solemn face, kind of sad a little bit. We just heard that the settlement of Lundaland has fallen, so we're not going there anymore.
Wait.
Guess.
An entire settlement fell?
Yes, we don't know yet what happened. Houston, your brother was just telling us they just got word saying that the settlement fell, and we're not going over there anymore. We're going somewhere else, I guess.
Was that Kiria's settlement?
Come again?
I'm trying to remember. Was that the Kingdom of Kiria settlement or Maito settlement?
It was the first settlement of the Kingdom of Kyria, where you guys were going to, but apparently you're not going over there anymore. But anyway, I hear that Dorf is a lovely city and it's well guarded, and we're going in there to help, so that should be good, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
but quick question. What kingdom is Dorf run by?
Also, Kyria, we're still going to the Kyrian colony. It's just a little bit further south, I think. Then she looks over to Giuseppe to ask him more or less where it is, but Giuseppe is already talking to Hilso and walking towards the ship and starting to board it. Oh well, I'm sure Giuseppe will be glad to tell you guys.
Okay. Looks like we're heading south.
Okay, let's go, you
Wonder what
guys.
happened.
Are you ready?
Lunderland.
Yep, we got some supplies in case we run into anything magical.
And then Agnes looks over at you guys carrying somewhat new equipment. And you see she look a little bit happier and says, I'm sure that will help with, those creatures that we fought. They are very dreadful, and I would fear for us to go into battle ill prepared. But anyway, let's go. And she turns around
speaking
and...
which, I think we as a group need to have a talk about this, since we kind of looked a little shaken during that fight.
Alright, let's talk on the ship. The captain is calling.
Well,
Yep.
Of course.
when everyone is walking,
Yeah,
I-
now you guys are starting to board the ship. Giuseppe climbs up the ship, and then you guys walk up the gangplank one by one. Is there something you wanna do, Sam?
Oh, I was just gonna. Please don't laugh at me for saying this.
Alright.
I just kind of have this distant look on my face, and I say, by the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Then I just look down a bit.
Matthias,
Do you-
once again you feel this kind of this odd feeling about Summerlad. The same thing that you felt before a few times now, as he passes by you.
Do I pick up on this at all?
No, you don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I just kind of look at him a little, stare, and shake my head as to just brush it off for the time being, as it's not important at the time for now.
So finally, all of you finish climbing into the ship. But Dracon, before you manage to climb into the ship, your brother Hilso, he just stands in front of you and puts a hand on your chest and says, "Little brother, before you go." And then he picks out a little book from his that he was carrying with him, and then he kind of hands it over to you. And you see that he has sort of a worried look on his face, but also kind of a little proudness going on. You open it up and you see that it's a bestiary of creatures that the God Slayers have been slaying over the years. Lots of these you have never heard of before. Creatures that apparently are new to this new continent, or rather unique to this new continent.
Thanks. Thanks, Postal.
I'm sure you'll need this, little brother. Like I said, I'm worried about you, and I want to know that you will be good and safe.
I put the book away and then just give him a hug.
He also gives you back a hug. At first, it's kind of distant when he hugs you, but then he grasps you tighter on the hug, and then ruffles your head fur and lets you go afterward and says, "Oh, little brother, you're growing so fast."
Yeah, and tell Rasha to stop playing with magic that much.
Oh, you know, Rasha, so she will not stop playing with magic. If I say that, she'll probably put a jinx on me or something.
Do we see this?
Yes,
Kinda
you're kind of distant. You're atop the board, and Hilsto and Draken are still on the docks, but you do see this.
Then I have this sad look on my face again.
Okay.
Hilsto gives you... He extends his hand, kind of in a handshake motion, and says, "Well, Draken, be safe."
You too, brother.
And you shake hands, and he steps back to look at you as the ship is about to start moving and going towards the new lands. All of you finally climb on board of the ship. Giuseppe just starts barking orders, and slowly the ship starts moving away from the shore and starts finally moving southwards. And as you look back, Hilsto is still there in the docks, waving goodbye just a single time, and then he turns around and goes back towards the camp to do whatever he does over there. And now, the ship starts moving south. As it does, as it does move south, one day into the journey, you notice, some of you guys, that whereas first Giuseppe had kind of showed you guys the map and more or less traced the route, and he said that after a while you guys would be going west. Now you notice that you're going south, rather.
West.
You're going south this time around, instead of going west. You don't know exactly why you're taking this path necessarily, but you know that you're taking it. So, is there anything you guys want to do while the boat is traveling around?
Well, yeah, I kind of wanted to have a discussion with the group about everything. All the magic users should talk about magics.
All right.
Yeah.
The group finds themselves on the deck on the next day of voyage, and everyone is over there after you call them over there, Draken. Looking
First
to
thing I do is
you and waiting
apologize
for you to...
to Flint for calling the group together, since, even though he's the leader, but...
Yeah, I'm not officially leader. You guys call me. I just...
And now everyone is summoned to the boat, to the deck of the boat.
I'm playing with a deck of cards, and just say, "Come on, sit. We need to talk," and I think the best way to do that is, well, over a quick game of cards.
Yeah, I'm probably not wearing a shirt because I was in the work, so...
Matthias plops down and says, "Sure, why not?" And while he's doing that, he's got his loot out and he's just kind of plucking at it. You know, not really anything, just kind of messing around, keeping practice on it while he's there, since there's nothing else to do at the moment.
So, what we... 3 Dragon Ante?
I kind of hide myself behind my wings.
Okay. kind of just wanted to go over what type of magic everyone uses, just because it's going to be a necessity going forward that someone has to be with offensive magic, someone has to be with debuff, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, you've seen my quote magic. I just hold up my gun. It does shit against that thing.
Yep. Chuckles. So, and this, what type of magic do you specialize in?
Who did you ask that to?
Agnes. Our little halfling.
Boy oh boy. Agnes, she was sitting down, looking intently at you. She kind of now stands up and says, well, I don't have a whole lot of offensive magic. I have been training to be an academic and researcher. I don't have a whole lot of offensive magic, but if you guys need support, I can do something to help. I can help us levitate. I can help us be more evasive. I can also identify things. I can grant us magic armor. Feather fall is a thing I have learned a while ago how to do. So if we are, I don't know, if we start falling down, we can fall down slightly slower. Yeah, all that I have is support magic and a couple attack magics here and there. And she kind of looks a little ashamed as she says this, wishing she had some sort of more offensive magic.
I kinda just touch her on the head and says, there's nothing wrong with wanting to help and not fight.
She looks over at you and says, well, thank you, Summer Lad, but I still think that offensive magic is dangerous, depending on what we do with it. And she looks over at you and gives you. She looks at you, Summerlad, and gives you kind of a stinky eye look, still remembering your guys' last conversation.
I look up and as I stop and I go, yeah, my magic is more nature-wise, but I look at Adnis and I'm like, Adnis, do you know the ability to maybe the spell to possibly imbue your magical energy into a non-magical weapon? Asking basically if she knows that.
How to enchant stuff?
Which is basically the magic weapon spell.
Yeah.
She thinks for a second and says, well, a whole lot of my friends were learning that, but I didn't get you because I don't carry around weapons with me. So I didn't see the use. So no, I don't.
I just nod and say, no, that's fine. I just figured I should ask if you did. Because that would be also just a supportive way so you wouldn't have to feel like you're in combat.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem considering what Agnes explained to me with my magic is I am restricted to primarily illusions and charms, since they're easier to perform.
Yeah, pretty much support spells.
Yeah, I'm pretty much supportive.
So I take out my prayer book that I have with me and just go through some pages and then look up from it and say, my offensive magic is not too shabby, I guess. I've practiced a little bit due to some unfortunate circumstances. And when it comes to support magic, I am mostly about healing and restoring people to, well, making diseases go away. I do have, however, some support spells for people, and I'm working on a paralysis spell.
As you say this, Agnes just lifts up her head and looks back at you and says, "Alright, Summerlad." And then she looks back at the rest of the group and says, "Does anyone else has any sort of healing abilities?"
Kinda.
Claire looks up and says, "I learned a few tricks from a druid that wandered in to our village a while back, so I do know a little bit of minor healing, but I'm not very strong in that way, so I can only do it maybe a couple times, if that.
I've got a med kit. Don't know.
But we also do have a healer's kit with me, so I can treat wounds when we need to on the road."
Okay. So, it sounds like we have a lot of supportive magic, but not a whole lot of offensive.
I can spit poison.
Well, you're a bard, so technically you go both ways, I think.
I can stab people.
So having those things aren't going to be very helpful.
Yeah. So if I had to
I can also
pick from here on out who would probably be better with who can do offensive magic, I would probably stick with Matthias, who I just understand a little bit about his magic, and probably Agnes, since you're the most flexible when it comes to magic.
Agnes just nods as you say that.
Look at a hand. Thunder thing.
As you guys are having this discussion, suddenly one of the sailors that is on the back side of the ship just yells, "Sirens! Sirens!" And then now bells are ringing aboard the ship, and everyone jumps up to this kind of attentive stance. And Captain Giuseppe just walks out of his cabin and says, What is going on here?" Then one of the sailors, just kind of looking over the railing, says, "Captain, there are sirens. They're following us."
What the hell is a siren?
Oh, do any of us know what that is?
With the book?
Oh, yeah, I got the book. Can I open the book and look?
Wait, sirens. I was raised by.
Oh, maybe you should go talk to them.
Okay, let's see what they want.
Z, could you speak up a little bit higher? I think you're far away from the microphone.
Yes, I was raised by sirens, so I can speak with them and see what they want.
Do you wish to do that?
Yes, I will speak with them to try to avoid any conflict since I was raised by them and stuff.
So you walk up to the backside of the ship. Do the party follow?
Oh, definitely. I don't know what's going
Definitely, I need to see
it.
this. I'm still flipping through the book, by the way.
I want to
Oh,
Stay behind because I want to make sure that he's okay, but I'm on the defensive at the moment because I'm not sure or what on the defensive.
Well, don't go to the edge. I'm still flipping through the book.
Draken, go ahead and roll for make an history check with advantage
Okay.
because of the book.
Oof. Thank you for advantage.
As you flip through the book, you find the one entrance that talks about sirens, but they don't specifically name them sirens, so it takes you a while to find it. It names them as merfolk. And you know that they are intelligent creatures, kind of humanoid, with upper humanoid torsos and their legs are pretty much fish tails, and they have these communities, kind of tribes, but they are mostly underwater creatures, so they are not sighted that very often, and and they barely ever show up on purpose to talk with civilization.
Yay, fish people.
And yet, somehow they are cataloged here. So, Hentai, as you walk to the back of the ship, you see a couple of sirens following the boat, and you recognize one of them. It is one of your, let's say, aunt that have helped to raise you. And you see they following the boat, but they're kind of far away. They're like 300 feet behind, but you can notice them. As you show up there and you notice them, what do you do?
Hello, my fellow fish people. How are you guys?
As soon as you say that, the sailor who first alerted to them and Captain Giuseppe, who are both now by your side, they turn over to you and Captain says, "Do you know them? Who are they? What are they?"
Yeah, they raised me. They're like, my long-lost family that also lives underwater with me. Unfortunately, my octopus parents have passed away, and I was raised by them, and they taught me how to become a bard using their music.
The captain and the sailor look at one another and say, "Are they friendly?"
Oh yeah, sure, we even have great jokes and wonderful drinks under the water. It's salty, though.
The captain and the sailor look at one another, and the captain says, "All right, slow down the ship a little bit." And then they pull up the sails, and the boat stops, or rather starts slowing down. And as it does, the sirens, who were a little bit farther away, they start gaining up distance on the ship, and now they're close enough to actually hear you and talk to you.
Finally stable.
One of the sirens just look up and says, "Hentai! Hentai! There you are! I knew I could recognize your music throughout the waves. How are you doing, my child?"
Great, Auntie. How are you doing? I've missed you so. It's been a while, and I haven't seen you in forever. How are you doing?
"Oh, Hentai, you have been gone for so long now. It's been a month since you left us. We have been doing good. We heard your song, and you're so close to home, and we felt the need to break down some bad news to you. We heard that. We noticed."
Okay.
What is this noise?
Yeah.
I do not know.
All right.
I'm hungry.
What kind of dildos are vibrating like that?
I'm gonna go eat.
Sam?
Dracon?
Oh boy.
Draco? He said he was BRB,
Yeah, Draco said BRB.
and now he is.
Okay, I'm gonna silence him real quickly. When he comes back, he
Okay.
can unmute himself. Sam, you said you were gonna go.
No, I'm just.
Sam?
I'm just eating cookies.
Okay. The sirens, as they were saying, we felt the need to break down some bad news to you, Hentai. Do you remember our sister tribe, the Moon Sirens?
But of course, what happened with them?
We have not heard of them in a while, and we fear that that some bad things may have happened to them. And we noticed you're sailing that direction, and we wanted to ask you if you could perhaps check up on them.
We will be glad to. How is my group here? Do you guys want to do a quick detour to check if my sisters are alright?
The captain looks over at you and says, wait. We're not making any detours here. Where even is these people, these things that you're talking about?
Oh, they're not too far, since we're in the area. It should only take us a few hours.
Not necessarily. Do go ahead, Hentai, and make a history check.
Go.
Core.
All right. You do remember that the Moon Sirens tribe, it's not necessarily here around the area. They're very far away. They are in the southern part of Nolyn.
I mean, we're headed that way anyway.
I mean, it's on the way. We could stop by.
The siren just looks up and says, "Oh, thank you, Hentai. Please, be careful. Your family misses you."
I will. Thank you for telling me, my auntie.
Then the sirens, the both of them, just look at one another. They kind of swim down underwater. Then they jump up into the air, doing a backflip, and then jump down into the water, kind of rotating in the air. And now you see them swimming in the opposite direction of the boat. As they do, Captain Giuseppe turns to you and says, "What in the heck was that?"
I turn and say, he's an octopus guy. They're fish people. I think it's best to just roll with it.
Ye deal with it.
Drake can roll a persuasion roll. Do a persuasion check.
Persuasion?
Yes.
It was.
Can I enhance that?
You can assist him, so you can roll.
A little late. I already rolled.
You can roll with advantage.
Oh, okay. Not much better.
He looks over at Hentai. Captain Giuseppe says, "Well, if you are fish people, as your friend has so eloquently put, why are you here on our boat? Why are you not there in the sea doing whatever you sea creatures do?"
There was a treasure by land. So, I need to be on land.
Yes, but whatever this treasure is, I assure you, it's not on this boat.
Oh, I know, but sure that I will run into it with time. We all have a common cause to find those pirates.
Captain Giuseppe, he looks at you, kind of squinting, and says, "Well, all right then, if you say so." Then he walks away and signals up to two of the sailors who are with him, and they start talking, whispering as they walk away from you.
I just
As you do that, Captain Giuseppe just looks back at you with squinty eyes, kind of with an annoyed look. Then he turns back at his sailor and says, "All right, sails down. Let's keep going. Enough of this diversion." And then sails are down, and the ship keeps going south again. As it does, 3 more days passes by. By now you have been at the sea for nearly a week. And you notice that you're very far away from any sort of land. And everyone is incredibly bored and completely well, incredibly
playing
bored
cards.
of the sea. Except for you, Dracon, who has playing cards.
I'm praying.
I'm
I don't
probably
care what you guys are doing. I'm praying to my God.
Is there anything else anyone wanna do?
Is there enough supplies on the ship I can try and get some forge going?
A forge?
Yeah, probably not.
Set the boat on fire.
I would not do a fortress ship.
The best you can find is sort of a kind of a makeshift kitchen where they have like a very poor sort of contraption for making food on the go. It was by far a horrible substitute for a forge, but it is a forge if you're very inventive with it.
Alright.
Is there anything you want to do with it?
Oh yeah, we are forgetting something, by the way. Is Oni making beer?
I will make his rolls.
While you're doing, I will.
Remember, he has
try-
proficiency.
Yeah, now he does.
I will try to refine that silver ore.
All right. Roll for tinkering with disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Okay.
Yeah,
what was
you
it?
definitely don't have the materials or the place to do any sort of, smelting. It'll be very difficult to make any sort of smelting going on here.
I clicked the wrong thing, so ignore this roll for a second. I clicked the wrong.
All right, I will ignore that roll for a second.
Okay, these are tools.
Also, Oni did not add his proficiency with.
That,
Should have taken the first one.
well, those were thieves' tools, so I couldn't really smelt anything with these tools, which I actually have. I just have proficiency.
You said it wasn't a natural one.
Well, true, but still.
What is it again? Brewing kit. What is the proficiency you add for?
I think it's just your general proficiency.
Yeah, it doesn't add any modifier like wisdom or intelligence, or does it?
That's your discretion, I think.
Yeah, we've sort of been just rolling with it. I'm using intelligence for tools for me to know how things work and stuff.
I
For,
I have
really?
dexterity attached to my jeweler's kit, which
And like
because
I would have
I work with
charisma.
tiny things.
Mm.
for
And like with my loot, I'd have charisma attached to that since it's for performance based and usually.
I see.
And thieves' tools requires your input. On the,
dexterity, that's what I would say for these tools.
yeah, most of the time, but it's a question mark because the DM can say it requires strength, it requires more of something else.
I see.
That's true. That's why I did many other things.
In
but
any
for really,
case,
I would
Flint,
easy either with intelligence. Yes, me.
you get a fire going with this very small kitchen pot. It takes a whole lot of convincing to let the cook use this pot for any smeltering experiences you're trying to do, and you try to melt down the silver there to try and refine it. But no matter how much you try and cook it, it just doesn't melt. You can't get the fire high enough, or rather hot enough to smelt it.
Well,
that's not gonna work.
You try and try and try, and you just can't do it, so you decide to give up.
Yep. So I put the silver back in my workshop, and I go looking for booze.
But
Before he,
for the next few days, you do hear people complaining of a silvery taste on their food.
But I like the silver tea.
Yeah.
it also helps make sure we're not monsters.
That it does.
What?
Draco, you wanted to do something?
I was gonna say, when Flint is walking out of his workshop, I just push him back in.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What's up?
That was Doug rolling
You-
Peroni's brewing kit.
Yeah, you guys can go ahead. I'm
Okay.
handling stuff here.
Something going on between you and the tiger?
I mean, it's fun.
Can you repeat that? I didn't catch it.
I said, I mean, he's fun.
Fun in what way?
Oh boy.
You want me to go into detail about that? Because, you know,
I shut the door. More like show me.
oh, alright.
We'll leave it there.
So, for this 6th day of voyage, Flint and Dracon, they are nowhere to be seen. No matter how much you guys look or try to find them, you just can't find them. Until you deduce there's only one room in the ship where you have not been to. Actually, 2 rooms. One is the captain's quarter and another is this sort of a storage room that Flint has been using in a workshop. So the rest of you assume that Flint and Draken either have been talking to the captain a whole lot these past days, or they're in the workshop doing whatever. And only makes a few mugs of ale. Wait, no, that's wrong. He makes 3 mugs of ale. That is a 6, so that now he has that many.
Can I go after Oni then?
Oni. Sure.
I asked how much for the 3 mugs.
Oni looks up at you and says, "It'll be a gold piece for each mug of ale, bitch."
Okay.
This is my salty ale.
I see. Well, can I get all 3 of them? Here, 3 gold.
Sure. He hands you 3 mugs of ale, and you hand him 3 gold.
Okay. Then I go look for Matthias.
You easily enough find him on the deck,
Yeah.
playing his lute.
Yeah, I'm just kind of leaning against the side of the wall, you know, just leaning there, just hanging out, just messing with my loot.
I want to give him one of the mugs.
I look at the mug and I go, "What is this for?"
Apology.
Alright, I take the mug. Apology for what?
For what I talked before. I'm sorry that I mentioned something that made you uncomfortable and that I might have been on the wrong track of mine.
I take a twig of the ale and go, "Oh, woof, salty." And yes, well, I guess for now, apology accepted. I mean, you didn't know all of my history, so you wouldn't understand why I would be very against what you discussed with me earlier.
But I have a small question.
I take a sip, go on.
Or, well, better, 2 questions. First off, how old are you?
I look at him. I've been around for a while. Usually I stay closer to home, but I'm 32.
I see. Well, the other question is, if I'm ever in a situation where I can't afford to not do something related to the subject that's talked about. Not in front of you, of course, but if I'm in a situation where I'm in need of help, would you at least forgive me for doing what I mentioned before?
I just stare at him and like asking for forgiveness before you've even done something is not something you should do, Summerland.
Well, that is true, but
You shouldn't take those actions that need to have forgiveness in the first place.
well, that is true, but just as I don't know, just as I didn't know about your past, some things that about me are not that good when it comes to apology and people understanding.
I look at Summerland and I remember the feelings I've been having, the weirdness that I get off perception I get off of him every so often, and think about that, and I'm like, does this have to do with those feelings I've been getting off of you lately, that and the pain you feel sometimes? Because if that's the case, you need to be careful about where your path lies later on in life, Summerland. As I down more of my drink.
Well, what happens with this part of me is something that I was never able to control. But in regards to that, I'll just say that it will be useful in the future.
I look at him, and if you're talking about what I think you're talking about with that train of thought, your spells you were thinking of, I still don't feel that's the right path for you. You shouldn't go down that way.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Nevertheless, then what are you talking about?
The feeling that you felt before was something not of this world. I don't know where it came from, but it will be useful to pretty much everyone in the group.
Mm-hmm.
But in regards to the beings that I was talking about, maybe creating, I won't do it unless I have to.
I look at him, just finish off the ale, and sigh, and just look at him and just say, I still don't believe you should go down that way. And then I head inside, down to the deck, down the deck to the underdeck.
All right.
Do I still have the 2 other mugs, or did he drink it all?
He drank one. You just gave him one.
Okay, then I go to... Are Clint and Dracon done with their thing?
You don't find them. You try looking for them, but you don't find them today.
I'm
Gosh
just
dang it.
wondering how loud we're being is all.
That is a very good question. Should we roll a stealth check?
Yes, roll a stealth
I
check.
already went down deck.
Oh god.
I mean, I could do a perception check to see where I. if I could find
Dracon
those two.
and Flint roll a stealth check.
Something tells me I'm a little loud.
All right. Matthias, roll a perception check.
Me too?
No, just Matthias. Oh boy.
Oh well.
You found us.
Matthias, as you walk down deck, you hear a very rhythmic kind of thud against the wall. You hear like, and you know It's coming from where we would expect to find Flint. But you wonder who else is there with him, and you think back to everyone else who is not accounted for, and your mind immediately drifts to Dracon, and you wonder,
Do I want to? I wonder what's going on there. I wonder. I wander over to the workshop where Flint has been working. Wander over there. And basically go take another and try to see what's going on, hear what's going on, and I hear that rhythm getting louder.
You get closer and you put your ears to the door. Roll a stealth check. Tiger, Matthias.
Sounds good.
And he gets the best. He gets the best rolls.
Oh,
Quiet as a cat. You put your ears to the door and you hear everything that is going on, and they don't even notice that you're listening against the door. And you can clearly hear both Flint and Dracon gasping and kind of moaning a bit as the rhythmic thud continues.
Oh my. Dice just goes and chuckles, and he just thinks, should I interrupt them? I don't know. He wonders if he should. And he just goes, oh, what the hell? This is going to be entertaining as all heck. And he wraps the door. Goes, Flint, are you okay in there? I hear a lot of grunting and moaning.
Yeah, all good in here. Did you wanna, man?
Are you sure I can come in if you need some help with something? I'm sure I'm not technical in gunsmithing, but I'm sure I can help with it.
Yeah. Just Dracon, you okay?
At this point, he just yelled, "Get in here!"
Thias opens the door, grinning.
You wander inside the workshop, and it's clearly... Sorry, I'm eating cookies. It's clearly... Well, it's clear what's going on between Flint and Dracon as you get inside. And...
But not the way you thought.
And you just let the situation take over you, and you enter the workshop.
I think to keep it PG, we end it there.
Yep.
Yeah, fade to black.
So, all three of you go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
Oh shit! Saving throw?
Yes.
I am proficient in this.
No.
Oh, wait, no, that
No,
wasn't a
it's
saving
natural
throw.
one.
Hang on.
Boy, oh boy.
Why?
That was just a Constitution roll.
Why?
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait,
Roll
you
a
didn't do
saving throw. There
Yeah.
you go.
Oh, still not a good.
Why? Just why? Why do these things happen in these types of situation?
So,
Much.
the next day, Flint is just walking around the deck normally, as if nothing had happened. But both Matthias and Dracon are walking a little bit bow-legged as well.
Oh,
Can I assume what's happened?
You don't even need to assume. Flint is grinning very widely.
And at this point, you don't even need to assume, Summerlad, because as either Draken or Matthias walk past, all the sailors kind of turn to one another and start whispering about what may or may not have happened. And it's clear that something did happen between the three of them, and it was very intimate. Anyway. Let me check here real quick. 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, 8 days pass ever since you guys leave Ra. And finally, after so much promise, after so much expectation, you guys finally arrive in Nolyn, in the New World. You see that the ship is approaching, and it's not even dawn yet. It's kind of dark, and the sun is still barely rising over the horizon, but you already see land as he quickly comes by, and you guys approach it. So from now on, you're gonna start using this other map, Southern Nolyn, to check more or less where you guys are. So go ahead and roll all the way to the right and to the and down to find the city.
There we are.
Oh, there it is.
Dorf.
Welcome to Dusseldorf.
Just Dorf.
Dorf.
That is the city where you guys are in, and I mean, yeah, that's the city where you guys are in. And after so much hearing about it, you don't even get to see or go nearby Lundaland, but you do come to Dorf, and well, what do you know? It is a lovely small city, full of little things going on. But this is just to show that like the ship comes to Dorf, and you can see more or less where it is, and there's little divisions in the land. But anyway, you guys actually go to the city of Dorf. So feel free to zoom out this map and take it in.
Oh wow,
That's a
Got
big
it.
map.
That's pretty good, decent sized settlement.
Yeah.
So the ship approaches the dock. The sun is finally rising. You guys, Captain Giuseppe just starts barking order to all the sailors and says, "Okay, let's go. We're finally here. Let's unload the ship, make some trade, and let's get back on the sea before the week is out." And they start barking orders.
Exiles.
The guards do go down. They start unshackling the exiles, who for the last 30-something days have been chained to the lower deck of the ship, and have not yet seen or walked in solid land for quite a while. And as you guys come over and look at the settlement of Dorf, even from the distance, from the docks, you can see that it's incredibly flat. There's not a whole lot of hills or elevation changes in the settlement from where you guys are. But over at the northwest side of Dorf, you do see kind of a hill, a little hill range, and a tree line on top of it, and it kind of gets you guys a little bit nervous, seeing how there's this hill overlooking the entire city and how dangerous that is from a defensive perspective. But you also notice that there's outer wall kind of circling the city, and on top of this hill there's also a big tower, which you'll assume at this point is some sort of watchtower for city guards and whatnot.
You mean like right here, or?
Yes, right there.
Okay. Just clarifying.
You also notice that this dock is incredibly small compared to what you were expecting a settlement to be, and some of you assume that it's because this is not where landings are intended to happen. This is, as it happens, another settlement, not the big first one, but as you'll remember, London has fallen. And you finally get down. As you do, as you do unload from the ship, you see that there is a very small gnome on the dock, kind of handing out papers and money, talking to all the exiles as they come. The guards kind of unshackle the shackles on the exiles' hands. This dwarf hands them a little pouch, and they just kind of start walking, kind of lost, not necessarily knowing where to go, but they start wandering into the city. You see that there's also another group of guards who are much ill-equipped compared to the guards that you have seen back in Pergos. And eventually, all the exiles go through this process of getting unshackled, receiving a bag pouch, and wandering into the city. And finally, Captain Giuseppe just says, he looks over at you, the entirety of the group, and says, "Welp, that's our part of the bargain. I brought you guys to Nolyn like you wished. Hope you guys are happy in here."
Thank you.
And then the captain takes off.
Wait, Captain.
Giuseppe looks back at you.
One last thing.
Sure. What is it?
If we ever come across you again, you think we could hire you for your services?
What do you mean?
Like if we need a ride somewhere.
He thinks for a moment before answering and says, "I am not sure that I'll be coming back here very often. As it happens,
Just saying if you do.
If I do, and you guys are in town, sure. If you wish passage back to Pergos, I'll be more than happy to provide you, so long as you pay me the price. Bringing you guys here was a courtesy of the king."
Understood.
Is that all?
That's all.
Yep.
Alright then. Then he turns around and walks into the city as some of the sailors and his bodyguard are kind of carrying around some crates with trade goods. And as you guys finally notice, there's this the gnome that was handling the exiles. He finally turns over to you and he approaches you and says in a very shrill voice, "And who are you?" He looks over at you guys.
I turn to Flint.
We're just here on looking for this new world.
Yeah, Matthias pitches in. We're adventurers that the king has sent on here to...
Oh, new settlers then. I see.
Yes.
Alright. The king probably told you guys about lands you would be receiving?
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
So, I will have you, whoever it is, go over to the mayor hall to fill in some documents. Come on, follow me. He turns around and starts walking into the city and doesn't even wait for you guys.
Quick question, how tall is he out of curiosity?
He's
a gnome.
Yes, this is like 3 feet.
Who is going to sign the papers?
I think we're all going.
Yes.
Yeah,
He's 3 feet tall-ish.
And how tall is Agnes compared?
She's the same height, more or less. She's pretty much the same height as him.
Okay, I just want to know for reference.
Agnes is actually, let me see, she's 3 feet 3 inches high, so she's actually like a couple inches higher than this guy, and you can see it's kind of a interesting sight.
Alright, well, I just say okay and just follow him.
Paperwork.
No, what's your name, by the way?
He doesn't even turns around, he keeps walking and says, "My name is Arden. Come, follow me."
Your name is what?
Arden.
Sorry, you cut out there for a second, Doug. So all we heard was, my name is, and then come. So we kind of had to dial.
Sorry. His name is Arden.
Okay.
Arden.
Yes, you guys walk from the docks following Arden until you wander here. This is a very big plaza. You see that it's 60 meters by 40 meters. Empty space with nothing. Just roads, and it's quite a sight to behold that a settlement would have this much land just kind of there for no reason whatsoever. You...
Would I?
Sam?
Is this like
I
a
want to
market?
ask.
Sam?
I want to ask him if there is a temple or shrine for praying in the city.
Sure. You ask him if there is a temple, and Arden doesn't even stop walking. He just points over at here. Do you see the ping?
Yep.
Do you see a
Yep.
ping on the map? He points over at a big building, and you look over, and it seems to be some sort of church, but it seems to be kind of in a state of disarray. It doesn't seem to be very well maintained or very well used. You see that it's newly built, but it seems like it has been abandoned of sort.
I want to
He
go
points
there.
over there and says, "That is the town church, but no one is using it since there is no clerics or priests in this city. The city, as you see, disagrees on who is the god we're gonna adore, so the church has fallen into disuse. But feel free to go there if you want."
Why would a church fall into disuse?
Arden finally turns around and looks at you with a little bit of impatience on his face and says, "You see, the kingdom of Kyria adores Yabarag, but the people who come here, they find other gods, such as Gafadur, Hakapfagan, and others, and no one can agree on which god to adore, so nobody has been using the church because no one wants to offend one another, while all of them wants to go on war against one another because of their beliefs."
I was more or less going. What happened to the cleric that built the church?
I would not be able to tell you. You would have to ask the mayor. Which we're gonna go to see right now, so let's go.
I wanna go to the church. I wanna check something.
Paperwork first, church later.
Paperwork first.
Paperwork first, church later. We might get a good
See
plot.
Sam starting to wander that way, and I just grab him by the shoulder. You can go there after we get this paperwork done, Sam. Summerland.
I just
Let's
got
go.
my wings trying to get out of the hold. Okay, fine.
Alright. But anyway, as you can see, this big plaza here seems to be some sort of a place, a trading place that would happen. But as you notice, you guys have arrived in the city very early. The sun is still rising, so you assume that the traders have not yet set up shop here. But anyway, you guys enter the first building to your left-ish, and that is the town hall. Arden opens up the door and kind of walks in, and you can see that this is a very beautifully built town hall. It's not extravagant in any way, it's very simple, but it's beautiful nonetheless, made all of wood and a little bit of masonry here and there to make the support, but the entirety of it, the walls, the floors, the ceiling is made of wood. And as you walk in, he stops in front of a big room, outside of a big room, and he points at the door and says, "This is the mayor's room. If you wish to talk about the lands you own, we can go in right now. Or is there something else you adventurers want to do first?" And he looks at you, Summerlad, with a face of annoyance.
Fine, I'll paperwork first, church later.
He just nods, turns to the door, knocks on it, and goes in. You enter the room, all of you enter the room, and you see behind it, on the other side of the room, behind the desk, is a human male. Kinda grizzly looking, gray hair, gray full beard, and he is meddling with some paperwork. He looks up at you and says, "Oh, hello. Are these new settlers, Arden? Arden just nods and says, yes, yes, sir, these are new settlers. Oh, please, come in, all of you. What are your names? My name is Hadorfell.
Hadorfell?
Yes, Hadorfell. Some people call me Hador, some people just call me Dorf, like the city.
Okay.
And who are you? What are your names?
I'll go first. Dracon Balder.
He looks at you with a little bit of a squint in his eye, and his sight stays on you for a little while, and then he nods and says, I see, Dracon Balder. And the rest of you?
I just go by Summerland.
Summerled?
Yeah. Name's Flint. I'm a bounty hunter.
Oh.
I look at him and just say, Matthias Lucende.
He looks over at you, Flint, and says, oh, the city actually does need a few bounty hunters if you're willing to do some work for us.
Fantastic. Money's running a little low. What do you need?
And I just knock him. Oh, we'll get to the semantics of that later.
And the two of you at the back, and then he points over at Oni, who presents himself as Onel Clarkin, before saying Bings. And he also looks over at you, Hentai, and he kind of squints and looks over at you for a longer while, kind of trying to discern, what are you?
I am yo.
You see this kind of a grin on his face before he goes, all right. Then he puts down the book he was handling and says, so, you're the new settlers, are you? Then he crosses his hands and kind of assumes a sort of a attentive stance, trying to keep an eye on all of you and look over at you all and pay attention to what you're doing and how you guys are behaving. So, I assume you may have heard news about the city of Londonland and how he has fallen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that.
That's about all we heard. We had no idea. Aside it's fallen, that's all we've heard about it.
He just chuckles and looks down and says, well, I would normally welcome you with open arms and a big wide grin to Nolyn, but I won't do so because this is not a welcoming land. We have for years now been fading off attacks from the Dark Brotherhood, who has been this very pesky thing that they do where they abduct people, and the last time they got a little bit bolder and decided to attack one of our cities. Londonland has fallen and we are still trying to recover it.
Well, as soon as he mentions
Matthias perks at the words of that. Can see him kind of getting a little frustrated look in his face.
He notices that
Dracon's a bit worried, but more or less curious.
As soon as he mentions the Dark Brotherhood and that they are kidnapping and attacking people, I kind of have this very deep look in my face with a lot of hatred, and then I turn around to hide my face.
He looks over at you and says, well, I see some of you are familiar with them, even though being new on this land. And he doesn't even wait for an answer, he just turns around, pulls open a desk, draws in a pile of paper, and sifts through it. Takes him half a moment for him to find a piece of paper and says, this is deed of ownership of land. You are lucky to get a free land courtesy of our king of Kyria, and he says that with a bit of a sarcastic tone. But unluckily, you will find that it's not a very desirable land, possibly overrun with monsters, so well, good luck with that. Then he picks up and starts striking some lines on it and writing a little bit of more of different things on it. And after he's done, he calls over Arden to check on the piece of paper. They check it, nod to one another, and then he holds it up and holds it out to the group and says, I need someone to sign this.
Alright, I got it. And Flint will just...
I was gonna say you should probably sign it. I can't sign documents like this.
Yeah, I'll
In
just...
the land ruled by Kyria.
So, Flint, you're gonna get the document then.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna sign it however he wants it, dotted line, initial, whatever, all that. You know my initial, just
Alright. I have made available for you a handout called Royal Decree of Land Ownership. You can find it on Roll20, it's a big ass document.
On computer. Sorry.
By the Royal Sanctioned Ruler, blah blah blah.
Have you found it?
No, we never name it ourselves. Alright, turn back to the group. Alright, what do we want to call our... whatever we are?
Our group?
Copyright infringement.
The the mayor just looks over at you and says, if you could read the document to your fellow party mates, teammates, settlers.
Alright.
Got it.
By the royal sanction of the ruler of the Kyria, Maward Mardenir, what name is that? It is henceforth decreed that a county by the size of 250 acres be granted and owned by the group known as whoever we are, led by the major landholder. I'll just put my name there with look around at the party.
We got 250 acres of land.
And then sign Matthias there as their second in command, and accompanied by who?
That would be the rest of your group, he says.
Alright. Fill in
You
all
can put my name down.
To a limit of 10 individuals, so long as the group adhere and laws in good relations to the crown and its citizens. County's perimeter starts at... Why? You're gonna you should make a new contract. 15 kilometers east of the city, the center of the settlement of Dorf in southern Nolyn. Oh god, there's a lot of... You want me to read all this shit out loud, man? Jeez. That's actually Flint complaining.
Heatherfeld just looks over at you and says, well, those are some loyal terms. Arden might be better equipped to handle those if you wish, but just have your group all go over at it. That's so they can see what you're adhering to. But pretty much, it's the same yada yada of always. You guys are now citizens of Kyria. You're adhere to my law now since you're in Nolyn, and you get a piece of land for free.
Yeah, this shit pretty much says, don't die, don't break the law.
Well,
Okay.
don't breaking the law is good. Not dying is better, but that's not entirely up to you, I'm afraid.
I kind of chuckle at breaking the law.
But yeah, I just need you to sign that document, and then I'll sign it myself, and you will be new settlers of Dorf.
So we need a name for our little group.
That we will.
Flint, do you show the document to your party mates?
Yeah, I'll show it around. Because I'm not reading out.
Okay, so you start passing it by that so everyone gets a chance to read it.
Especially considering you signing me as second command.
Yeah, well.
And my name's just on here. I'm just a member.
Okay, so now all of you, if you look over at your handouts, you will see that there's a royal decree of land ownership, and you can read the document. It's a very big document.
Yeah, you'll see why Flint didn't want to read that out loud.
So, major landholder, will that be Flint?
Yeah, I guess that'll be me.
With Matthias a second in command.
Yep. Straight on little
Fedman,
precedent and
50%, all individuals listed. They will control property. What's down here?
Pretty much boilerplate.
Pretty much.
But what are we gonna call ourselves?
Looks like, and then I look at flip. Looks like we do get taxed if we find anything good on our land.
If we, a whisper, if we report it.
Alright, so like Bean, so Bean Squad. Yeah.
Yep, Bean Squad. I'm okay with it. Oni's just going beans.
Yeah, only just his ears just perk up at the mention of beans. So you guys are gonna be Bean Squad then?
Yep, we will be the Bean Squad.
Okay.
What a lovely name.
Oh no, it's the Bean Squad.
I have changed that document there, so now that is the thing. So if you look over at it, you will see that all your names are there now.
Where are our names? I don't see them.
In the first paragraph.
Okay, now I see them.
First paragraph, I just
It took a while to
edited.
change. Hang on. Yeah. Where's Agnes, by the way?
She's not part of our group. She's just a tag along.
She is, but she isn't.
When you offer the document for Agnes to sign, she just shakes her head and says, "No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
I don't plan on staying on Nolyn after all. I have a home back in Mythos, you see. I will go back there someday."
Aren't you a teacher of some sort too?
Come again?
Didn't you say you needed to teach people?
Ditch people?
Teach.
Yeah, she is a professor. Was a professor back at Mythos. Anyway, all of you take turns signing the document, then you hand it back over to Haderfell, who picks it up and reads it kind of over the top. He doesn't read the whole thing. He just reads where you guys have just gone
Probably
over.
after Hentai got through with it.
Gosh dang it!
He just reads over the parts where you guys have written your names and pretty much that. And he looks over at it and says, "Flint,
Yeah.
you do not have a surname."
No? Just Flint?
Just Flint.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Where-
I don't put my surname too, by the way.
Okay. Where do you hail from, Flint?
Not around here.
He chuckles to himself and says, "Well, that'll be your title then. Flint from not around here."
You-
Matthias gives a little chuckle
What
at
about
us.
me?
Come again, Sam?
What about me? I didn't put my surname either.
He looks at the both of you and says, "Summerled and Hentai, you also don't have surnames?"
You
Come again? He cut off.
can't take the water. Yeah, I like that.
I didn't hear it. My thing cut off.
Hentai is now officially.
Actually, no. Hentai
The what?
Aw.
hentai the wet.
The wet.
The wet. Yes.
Alright.
Or the moist. Hentai the wet or the moist. I will accept either or.
Really?
What?
No, it fits. It fits.
All right. And you, Summerled?
I don't know.
You don't know if you do have a surname or not.
Oh, I do know, but well, yeah, I kind of don't know if I have a surname or not.
All right. And then he jots down his final notes on his own piece of paper on his own book that he keeps to himself, so you guys can't see it. So, Dracon Boulder, Matthias Lucendi, O'Neill Clarken, Flint from Not Around Here, Hentai, the Wet and Moist, and Summerled, the Unsure. Welcome to Nolyn. He signs up a final part of the document. His scribe also goes and signs the document.
Dude,
And
you might need to amend that contract.
on what?
250 acres is over 10,000, I mean, say 10 million square feet.
So?
It is a big
That's
piece of land.
basically a city.
Yeah, we're getting a city
200
piece of land.
250 acres is not that much. It is big, but it's not that big.
But if we are going to do any sort of thing where we were getting do farms and things like that, oh yeah, no, we need the space.
Yeah, we got a big backyard.
Exactly.
Definitely got a place to build an inn.
Or a keep.
So he finishes writing down some more stuff on the document. Arden also goes and checks some things. He closes it, he seals it, stamps it, and hands it over to you, Flint, and says, well, now you own a piece of land. Take good care of it. Remember to check in with us once you have something to show for it. Also, if you didn't read all the document, I'll make it quite short to you. Flint, you're the major landholder. If you die, your second in command, Matthias Lucendi, will inherit it from you, and he will inherit your part of the land, and he will also assign a second in command to you in turn, and so on until none of you remain.
Got it.
Morbid.
Well, we have had that happening a few times, and we didn't expect to write those laws down ourselves, but he looks over at Arden, who just kind of shakes his head, and Hudderfeld says, but we had to deal with that, and we didn't know to expect that, so now we do.
We lost Sam.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, there he is.
So, feel free to explore our city. It is a lovely day today.
Right.
It's my...
First things first. Bounties. What do you got?
Bounties. Well, he thinks for a bit. As he thinks, he looks over at his papers and says, well, we have some bounties we have here. Let me see. God damn it, where are my bounties? So you can get more information. I'm hearing echo.
Yeah, sounds like something's got.
Sam, there's echo coming from your microphone. So if you want to hear more about bounties, I hand it over at the local inn/tavern. You can go and check out with No. He will tell you guys about new bounties. I always relay my bounties to him, that so people don't have to come into my office every time. But since you guys are here, I have 4 bounties going on currently.
Is that still there?
Come again?
Is the echo still there?
No, not anymore.
No.
Okay.
There is a Dark Brotherhood camp in the forest between Dorf and Dosengangen. So, if you guys could clear it out, we're willingly gonna pay you 1,000 gold pieces for that.
Yeah. Okay.
There's an assassin who murdered one of our previous landowners. Not the land you're inheriting, though. Another piece of landowner. Probably just a farmer. Anyway, he fled Dorf and went to Gemberg, down to the south. We need him brought back alive to answer for his crimes, so if you could do that, that would be great. And we will pay 200...
How much for dead, out of curiosity?
Well, if you bring him back alive, you'll get 200 gold. If you bring him back dead, well, you get a pat on the back.
Oh, got it. Don't kill him.
Needs to be alive. Gotcha. What else?
There are... this has been going on for a while, ever since we fled from Lundeland. Well, not me, but since Lundeland fell, some settlers and citizens of it have been fleeing to other cities, and we hear that not all of them have been found or reached the neighboring cities. So we don't know who, we don't know how many. There are missing settlers to be found. If you find any, please report to the nearest city and they will gladly pay you 50 gold pieces if you find them alive. If you find them dead, retrieve the bodies, the families will gladly pay you 20 gold pieces for each corpse. And he says that with a kind of a melancholic tone.
Alright.
Send people your way.
And finally, there are monsters in the forests. And those monsters are obviously a threat to our city and our economy. If you bring down their heads, we will gladly pay you for, well, creature heads. As morbid as it is, we need proof that they are dead. Depending on the monster you kill, the rewards range from 10 gold pieces to 200 gold pieces per head.
Okay.
Right. Now,
But more importantly, don't get yourself skilled while attempting to do these bounties.
We're not
I learned my lesson. Put the big guy in front of me.
Yeah, that's usually me. So. Alright.
Don't worry, guys. I'll patch you up as much as you need to.
Alright, 4 bounties. Alright. We'll get this shit done.
Flint, you were saying something? Or just that?
Yeah, I was asking him if any of these creatures might be those werewolf things we killed on that island.
Oh, but of course. They are roaming the wilds. We have had reports of werewolves and wereboars. Maybe there are more were creatures, we don't know for sure.
I don't have enough silver. Alright.
Yeah, we're gonna wanna beef up our silver weapons for that.
Luckily for you, I might say, if you do intend on going out that direction, those creatures have been mostly sighted in the forest, and there's a lot of grasslands here, so I don't think we'll be finding them in the grasslands. If you're looking for were creatures, seek the forests.
So that bounty of monsters in the forest, probably were creatures. So yeah.
Probably, but 200 gold?
There might be bigger creatures we have not yet seen and not yet dealt with. If you do hear, well, if we find that you come across some bigger, larger, more threatening creature and we don't have any sort of reward in place, we will gladly escalate your reward up to however many gold pieces we deem it worthy.
Yeah, as much moaning and groaning doing about the were eyes are now.
And Matthias, were you also saying something before?
Oh, I was just going to ask him if there was a blacksmith or a forge in town that.
Oh, yeah, we sort of that.
It says, well, sure, there are several trusty shopkeepers and workers in the city. If you're seeking a blacksmith, go and check out Antal. He's a smith He works on the center part of the city. You will easily enough find his forge. If you're seeking an innkeep or a tavern, just across the street you will find Nono's tavern. He will gladly take on new adventurers or settlers, and well, he will take good care of you at the Lone Hero Tavern. If you need someone to, well, help you with the hunting of creatures or relay more information, you just seek out Danton. He's our local hunter and forager. He might not be over here though. He might be out there in the fields foraging or hunting. So if you need to seek him out, I can let him know you guys went pass by. And if you need an armorer, go check out Brennist. If you need an alchemist, go check out Chas. If you need a tailor, check out Dandon. And if you need a place to resupply or buy, well, whatever it is that you need, any magical items for your adventures, he's still setting up since his shop was destroyed back in Londonland, but you can also check out with Gestaff Burson. He also goes by Green, so...
Green!
Oh,
He knows another blue!
Yeah, we need to give him. Do we still have his gold?
I think we have the potion we're gonna give him. And I have the letter.
And the sphere. The sphere.
And we still have his letter too.
Speaking of which, can I open that letter just to take a look at it?
You're gonna open the letter.
You're gonna open the letter.
I don't
I'm
think you
tempted.
should do it.
I'm very tempted to, because after that whole situation in Purgos, I had a odd feeling.
Well, we'll do it. We can discuss
Fine.
that outside.
I think I
there,
can ask for
so-
the letter after, just... I'm not gonna open it right now, so...
Anyway. That's all we need from the mayor, right?
Will that be all?
Well-
He asks.
Who's the armorer and who's the alchemist?
Plenty of time for all that later.
I just want to know ahead of time.
Chas is the alchemist and Brennist is the armorer.
Ooh.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow.
And have a good day. And may Fenfilgor watch over you. And he says as he opens back his book and goes back to keeping up with whatever he was doing before you guys came in.
Oh, hey, Doug. You said the name of the blacksmith, the forge guy that he suggested, right? I can't remember.
Antol.
Intel.
Antal. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just taking notes.
Lots of
am
notes
I.
to take. So, his scribe and / assistant, Arden, just kind of hails you guys out of his room and then out of the town hall and back into the main square of the city, and he just looks over at all of you guys as a group and says, "Well, I hope I was able to help you, settlers."
Yeah,
You were a great help.
Our land.
And, well, go now and make the kingdom of Kyria proud. But more importantly, make Dorf proud of you. And try not to get yourselves killed.
But which way for land?
Come again?
Which way is the land that we have?
The land that you have,
Yeah.
he... In your document that we handed over to you, Flint, by the way, note that down that you have the deed of land ownership.
Yeah.
Write it down on your inventory. It says there that the land that you guys own now is west of here, or rather, yes, west. It should say west. It says east. 15 kilometers west of here.
That is far.
That is a distance.
Expecting
Yep,
some
it's gonna be
different stuff.
quite some travel time.
We're gonna build a small thing, aren't we?
15 kilometers should be about 3 hours-ish from here if you wish to walk. It's not that far. It's definitely a journey, but not that far.
It's still early morning. And just
I
Go.
say we head over to Green shop first. See.
fair enough.
By the way, I kind of just took Flint's arm and asked to speak with him in private for a second.
Yeah. All right, samurai.
By the way, Kun, your microphone is cutting off a little bit every now and then.
All right, hold on. Gonna reconnect the voice channel. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, weirdly enough, that seems to solve it sometimes with Discord. Go figure.
Okay, back in. Any better?
Maybe,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Okay.
So
Alright.
I pull him to the side and ask for a private chat with him just for a second.
All right, I'm eyebrow raised, but walk over.
Well, about the Dark Brotherhood's camp, are you planning on having us go there somewhere in the future?
I mean, it's 1,000 gold, so yeah.
Well, when it comes to that time, be sure to tell me everything you know, because when it comes to those guys, I actually know a thing or two.
Oh, good. Inside information.
Well, let's go back to the group.
All right. Private.
Sorry for the munching of cookie sound.
It's fine.
I don't.
What was I gonna say? I forgot.
We were headed to blues. I mean greens.
Yeah, gotta keep that in mind. So I forgot to say, because you guys completed a major milestone, which is to arrive in Nolyn, which was your quest ever since the beginning, all of you get 250 experience points.
250 experience points.
Because, dog damn, you guys have been on this journey for days now.
For weeks.
250 experience points.
Mm-hmm.
And
316. Yay! Except for Oni, who gets more.
Why?
because he beat
Because
up
you get
that
5
dog.
experience for beating up a poor kid.
Oh yeah, true. True, he does. Let me calculate that.
Why are you at 1401?
How much do you have now?
316.
You are at 1151?
Wait, guys, I think I noticed something, but no, leave it there.
Alright. So, where are you guys headed to now?
Green.
Alright. You guys decide to one another and you say collectively as a group, let's go to Greens, and then you realize that you don't know where it is.
Wait,
He said it was
do we
across the
know-
street.
Across the street is the tavern.
To the
Yeah.
tavern.
Wait.
What's up, Sam?
We know of its existence, right?
You do know that it exists, but you would have to seek it out if you want to go there.
Then, how about I do this? Wait.
That actually is a useful time to use it.
Guiding could be tiny incorporeal shimmering light and occupied in hands. You name one major landmark such as a city, mountain, castle, or battlefield on the same plane. But do we know the exact name of this shop?
Yeah, you know that it exists, but you don't know how to specify it.
Yeah, that's
Well,
why.
let me try and
no.
say the. Let me try and say the same name of the other shop, the one that blew the other one owns.
Sure.
Blues and greens stuff that I forgot the name.
Well, it's hard to get that to work. So you cast your guiding hand and say the name. You say blue and greens store. The hand kind of appears in the air. It shivers over for a bit and then dispels itself. It doesn't know where to go.
Oh,
Well, that didn't work.
All right, to the tavern.
All right. So you walk just a little bit up across the street, and there you are, the tavern. Matthias?
So, do we have any idea where any of the shops are at all?
Nope. All you know is the tavern and the town hall and the church. Other than that, you know nothing else. You're just arriving in the city. You know nothing.
Always ask at the tavern. Tavern knows all.
Yes.
That's what I've got.
Well, if they're awake, it is really early.
You walk over to the tavern as a group, and you guys get in. And indeed, as you said, it is very early. There is like just one single person drinking at the bar, and looks like this person went all night drinking. And you feel like
that reminds me.
Sam.
That reminds me. The 2 mugs of beer. I never did something with the mugs.
Well, keep them in your inventory. This guy, you notice that he might have been there for quite a while, and you decided it's a better idea not to disturb him. But you are kind of surprised to see that the place is open, and then you realize that it's not just a tavern, it is also an inn. So there are rooms and people sleeping all over the place, in the rooms around the inn. But in the right across from the entrance in the bar, there is the barkeep, or rather the barkeep / innkeep, who is there, just handling his own goods.
We'll march right up to the barkeep.
All right, you walk across the very empty bar. It's kind of an eerie feel to walk across an empty bar, and you arrive at him, and he's a very short gnome, a male gnome, and he has kind of a reddish hair, but it looks kind of very dark. But you can tell a little some hints of red here and there. And he has a very wide grin on his face. And then he sees you guys coming in and says, "Oh, hello. New settlers, is it, I see?"
Yeah, new settlers.
Oh.
Yes. Know where nothing is.
Well, you come to the right place then. I know mostly where most things in the city is.
Yeah, see, always come to the tavern, dudes. Alright, I turn back to the group. Alright, what do we need first?
Well, green.
Alright, turn back to no. Hey, you know Green?
Green. Oh yes, Green Gestaff, you mean. The shopkeep. Oh, that poor sod. Came from Londonland, he lost his shop, he lost his everything. Yes, you can find his shop. Just go southways a bit. It's kind of on the way to the docks. You will see him there, right beside the smithy. It's side by side. You can't miss it.
Oh, so him and Ental must know each other.
Perhaps they do. I don't know. I would assume that they do.
Because that was what was going to be my next question, because where the smithy was.
Yes, the smithy is down south on the way to the docks by the main road. In the second block you will find Green's Emporium and the smithy. There you will find him, they. Anything else I can help you with, settlers? And then
Down there we got.
he looks very excited to be talking to you as he cleans up some mugs that have been left behind.
Let's see. Do you guys need anything else? Do you need to know where the alchemist is or the armor smith?
Oh, yeah. We should probably know where they are, too.
I'm gonna ask that.
Yeah.
Or Flinders?
So, As you guys go asking where this and that is, the barkeep just goes telling you guys all the direction of all the places, like, oh, this is over there, this is at that side of the city. And you notice that most of the business are centered around the central area between the docks and this main plaza. All of the buildings, all the businesses are centered there.
Ah, handy.
Ah, good. And then I look to the others and I'm like, since we just got off the boat and I'm sure we're all tired of the boat's rations and stuff. Okay, wait. We have his name, right? Did we ever get the Inke's name?
I believe his name is No-No.
No.
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 All right. Could we get some? Dang it. Get some.
Can we get a decent meal?
Yes. That's what I was gonna say.
Mind reader. Yes, food.
A decent meal, well, that
I think
could be procured. Our cook is not here yet. It's very early in the morning, but I could fix something up for you guys.
Anything is better than rations.
Oh, just arrived from the ship, haven't you?
Yeah.
Sailing the sea, that's a trip I will never do again. So that'll
Only do
be
it if you have to,
the
is what I say.
the 7 of you.
Yep.
All right. Just a moment. Find a table and I'll get the food and I'll serve it to you guys. And if some other customer comes by, just tell them to wait. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yes, chuckle when he says find a table. They're all empty.
Come again?
Wow.
I
It's
said
just
it's
something you say.
let's find a table because they're all empty.
Wow. I just offer the 2 mugs that I have, one to Dracon and the other one to Flint.
Morning beer.
Ah, morning beer. Drink it down.
I just chuckle.
Salty.
Token of friendship.
Thank you.
Friendship tastes salty.
Yeah.
Well, everyone in this group appears to be salty over something, so
It's appropriate.
Salty.
And as you do, the Bean Squad finally enjoys their first decent meal in this new land of Nolyn.
Because I figured we needed something to do.
No,
before I
finally
leave.
comes by and he serves you these platters of meals. You can see that it's not like anything great or special. It was kind of rushed, but it's decent. It's fresh food, much better than the stuff they were serving at the ship, at least.
Exactly. It tastes like a luxurious meal after whatever else we were eating the entire time.
Pretty much rations and mashed potatoes all the way. Well,
Oh, yeah,
silvery
mash.
tasting potatoes.
Thank you, Flint. At least we don't have to taste silver.
oh, but I like silver.
Maybe we should get cheese grater and have Sam
Oh,
break
jeez.
silver on it.
Just have him scrape off some of the silver ore for him or something.
Oh, I would eat that.
I mean, if we need to go to the smithy, probably do something with the silver ore.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Have to-
probably gonna go to the smithy, see if they can do some.
As you guys are having this discussion, out of nowhere, the front door just opens with a very loud noise, and you see a group of 3 guys just come in. And since the tavern is pretty much empty, they are very noticeable. And you see that there are 2 paladins, or paladin-looking guys, a dragonborn, a blue dragonborn, just walking in, and you will see behind him a dwarf carrying around the head of a werebeast, which you can't say exactly if it's a wereboar or werewolf from this distance, but you see that he's clearly carrying it on his hand. And you also see behind them a very angry looking gnome that you kinda can tell that he's a gnome barbarian. And this group, they just come in out of nothing. They go into the counter, putting the were creature head on the desk and says, "There we are. We fought one of them creatures and we brought it back here. We want our reward." The Dragonborn says, and no, just kills him. "Oh, I would have wished you didn't put that on the desk, but sure." He picks the head, puts it behind the counter, picks up a pouch of coins, hands it over to them, and says, "Well, glad to see the golden trio is still up and working." And the Dragonborn just responds, "Yes, it is never a bad day for hunting those beasts. We'll have the usual." And no just says, Sure, the usual." And they go and sit over another table a little bit away from you guys just to wait for their beers. And they kind of glance over at you guys. They take notice that you are there, but they don't do anything to approach you or talk to you. They just keep to themselves in the corner. But you can tell that they are adventure-looking group, and they are, as you can see, they look like they have been through a whole lot. They look a little bit more experienced than you guys.
Do you guys want to go talk to them? I want to go talk to them.
If you want to go talk to them, I won't stop you.
Yeah, if you want to talk to them, I'm not going to stop you, but I have no need to talk to those three.
Yeah, they're our competition.
At least when it comes to bounties.
I'll go up with you, Sam, just to keep an eye on you.
Well, just to ask a question. We are all adventurers. That's much we know, but if it comes to it, do you think we should at least ask if they could help us if the situation becomes too dire? Like Flint, don't get me wrong. I think you're strong and that you know what you're doing, but one bounty hunter is not enough.
I think it's gonna be more or less dependent on the job.
Yeah.
Depends on the job.
Like, if we're gonna attack the Dark Brotherhood camp, yeah, I would say we need their help.
Yeah, and from one bounty hunter to another, gold is always an issue when splitting a contract. People are always going to argue, I did more work, so I get more gold, and shit gets ugly from there. I don't know about these three. I don't know if they'll do that. But we want to keep that in mind.
Okay.
Besides, it seems like they stay in the area, so we'll probably be able to catch them another time too.
I say just be friendly, say hello. Don't ask anything.
Okay.
But if
then
you don't know, you can maybe ask No.
Alright, then I go up to No. Just...
That's a lot of no's in one sentence.
No.
So Nono just came back from serving beers to the so-called Golden Trio, and he's behind the counter, and he sees you approaching and says, "Well, what's up, settler?"
Who are those three?
Those three? Oh, those three. They are the Golden Trio. They are a bunch of... Well, he cocks his head to the side and thinks for a bit. I would say that they're heroes. Ever since they showed up, they have been helping the land and killing everyone that says that they're up to no evil. I mean, true evil. Well, they kill evil things and people.
How long have they been here?
Almost a year, I think. Yeah, more like a year. They came about the beginning of this year. After the 15th, it was 8-9 months ago, something like that.
I see. Do they come here often?
Here, yes, they do come here often, to both the city and this bar, and I'm the only bar around, so that's good. But yeah, they do come here. I handle most bounties with the mayor, so most adventurers and bounty hunters and, well, heroes come here.
I see.
Do you wish an advice, little one? Which is kind of a
Yes.
weird thing to hear a gnome saying to you. He approaches the desk and says,
It's also strange considering in regards to my age.
he says, they are heroes. There are a lot of evil things prowling the woods, this continent, every place, and they are helping. And that not only makes them heroes, but have been granting them with favors from folk all over town, so you might want to make friends with them. Just say.
Oh, I see. Well, I thank you for the information.
You're welcome. Do you need more beer, more food?
Not at the moment, but thank you.
Alright. Then he looks at you and calls you up and says, Hey, wait, before you go. You're just coming to town, haven't you?
Yes, why?
Have you been to your own part of land yet? I hear that the mayor is handing land to new settlers.
No, none of us have.
Oh, alright then. Just curious. You see, the lands around here, some have been built, some have not been built, and, well...
Do I hear this at all?
What is your passive perception?
14.
You do. You get some... even though you're slightly far away, it's very quiet, the environment, so you do hear them talking. And you gather that if the other group is... Well, if they're trying to pay attention, they will also be able to hear this.
I just want to glance over at the other group, see if they are interested in the discussion.
Make a perception check.
Perception, I am good at that.
Lucky
I'm
you.
not.
Oh boy. As far as you can tell, they seem to be keeping to themselves. Talking amongst themselves and making hand gestures to one another, but you can't get anything from that. It seems just like they're talking. It seems like they're talking.
Okay.
Mm,
Let's go back to eating.
Then I go back to the table and gonna share a little bit of the info that the others didn't hear. So, those three have been here for about a year. They seem to be well known and respected in the city. The people of here call them heroes because they are doing good deeds. And it was a dwarf, right, in the thing. He told us
What
that
do you mean, Sam?
No, what is no?
No is a gnome.
No is
Oh.
the gnome.
So the
So
gnome,
many ends.
the gnome was telling me that if we need help, maybe with some kind of bounty, it might be wise to speak with them. I know what you said, Flint, but hey, it's an advice from someone that has been here for a while.
Well, if we all think it's a good idea to send at least one of us over to say hi,
Can I go say hi?
I walk up to the...
buy them drinks.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Alright.
doing. I walk up to...
You walk up to the three of them who are in the other side of the
Wait,
bar.
I want to
I'm
you.
walking up to the barkeep. I can't remember his name.
Okay, walk up to Nono.
No.
Nono, the gnome.
Yeah.
Hello there, inquisitive today, aren't we? He looks at you.
Yeah, I more or less... I'll pay for the next round of drinks.
You wanna buy them drinks?
Yeah. The trio that just came in.
Alright, that I can do. That'll be, as per usual, 5 copper coins per mug.
I'll give him a silver because I don't know how much that is.
Alright, you give him a silver. And it says, okay. Generous today, aren't we, as well? Oh, nice to make business with you, adventurers. Settlers, I mean. And then he pours more ales for them, brings it over today, and he talks over with them and points at you, and now you'll notice all the three adventurers looking at you. And you see that the Dragonborn, who seems to be kind of like who's spearheading the group, just looks over at you and nods. Does a kind of a deep, slow nod of understanding towards you.
And point of reference, Flint is paying very careful attention to all of this.
I'm also looking, but I don't think I see much.
I nod back. The acknowledgement.
They turn back to their beers and keep on drinking, enjoying the new meal that you have bought them.
I walk back to the group and say, words can only say so much and action says more.
Bring them here.
That's what I just paid for.
Actually, I just looked over here, and 15 copper would be 1.5 silver.
So I got a bargain.
Yeah, we won't retcon that. Just pretend pretend that it was a discount on the house. Anyway.
First date discount.
Yeah, we can call it that.
So, you paid for their food.
I paid for their drink.
Do you think one of us should go talk with them?
Alright. Then
Right now, I'm not thinking that. Not needed.
Speaking of which, all of you pay 3 silver for your food as well.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah, because Hentai's not really performing right now, so...
And before you guys have any chance to decide on what to do, the trio just stands up. They walk towards the door as if they're leaving. The Dragonborn stops after the two others leave. He looks back at you and just kind of does another nod with a hint of a smile and walks out of the door. And now they leave the tavern.
Huh. I think we
There they go.
And as they open the door and leave the tavern, you can see that there's a whole lot more noise going on in the street, and you can see that some shopkeepers have already set up place in the street.
Thias finishes his meal, gives a stretch, and says, "Well, it sounds like shops are starting to open, so I think this might be a good time for us to head out and check and see what few things we need to do."
Well, definitely we're heading to the blacksmith and green.
Alright, so which one do you guys go to first?
Green, let the blacksmith heat up his forge before we do anything.
Makes sense.
Sounds like a plan.
So, easily enough, following the directions from both the barkeep and from the barkeep, you find Green's shop, which as you enter, you can see that it doesn't feel like a shop. It feels more like a small house where the main room has been turned into some sort of kind of place to put in items, but you see that it doesn't look good in presentation, and there's very few items going on there. But as soon as he notices you guys entering, he turns over to you and says, "Oh, hello." And you see this stout dwarf who looks eerily like Blue, except that he looks more like like a depressed older version of Blue. And he looks over at you and says, "Well, what can I help you with?"
Who had the potion for him?
I don't remember.
I have 3 healing potions, so I think it's with me.
Okay, I take that healing potion and the letter and bring it up to him. And say, your brother sends these.
My brother. He looks
Blue.
over at you.
Blue looks kind of like you, only happier and has no clue how to run a shop.
He looks over at you, and you see this genuine look of surprise on his face, as if he didn't expect to hear that name again. And he picks over the how many healing potions are you giving him?
I think we were to deliver one to him.
One.
I thought it was 2.
No, Blue gave us one, and we had to deliver the other plus the letter.
Oh, okay.
So you hand over to him one healing potion and the letter. Is that so?
Yes.
Okay, you hand over to him the healing potion, the letter, and says that it's from his brother Blue. And he picks the potion, looks it over, and kind of unsure what to do with it. He just pockets it, picks up the letter, and you can see him moving a little bit away from you as he opens it and starts reading down the letter. He goes like, "Huh. Oh, Blue." And he takes him a while. You notice that he has finished reading the letter, but he hasn't. He still has his back turned to you. Takes him.
I look over his shoulder and read the letter?
Boy, oh boy! Do a very good stealth check if you want to try that.
Thank God I'm stealthy. Damn
Do
it!
you want me to enhance you? Do you want? It's too late.
Can't do that anymore, Sam.
Usually I'm very good at stealth.
Well, yeah, you should be good. But anyway, as you try to go over him, he notices you slinking behind him, and you just hear he just kind of moves away from you, kind of hear him sniffing and closing the letter, pocketing it. Takes him half a moment before he turns to you. He shoots you, Dracon, kind of a dirty eye glance before turning to
Been carrying it around for a while, just curious.
Then looks back at the rest of the group, you included, and says, "Oh, thank you. Adventurers, settlers, thank you so very much."
One more thing.
Sure. What is it?
Leave Matthias over?
I don't. Are you talking about the adventurer sphere?
Yeah.
I'm not carrying that.
Well, who has it again?
Has that.
Hentai
Then
has it.
Hentai. Your brother gave us this item, but he wasn't quite sure what it was. He said you would have a better idea of what it is.
Do you show him the adventuring sphere?
I don't have it. Hentai
I
does.
has it. I show him here.
As soon as he looks over the sphere, his eyes widen and he says, "Oh, wow! I was not expecting that to make its way back here. Yes, I did give that him to my brother, and that has been a while ago. That Blue." He just shakes his head and says, well, what about it?"
Do you know what it is? He didn't seem to know what it did. And he gave it to us.
It was supposed to be a protection charm, a amulet of sorts. A while ago, after the first time I came to Nolyn, when I still had my shop set up in Londerland, we came across that adventuring, well, that's what I call the adventure sphere, as we were exploring some piece of land, and I held it in my backpack, and as we were exploring, we were attacked by a group of wild beasts, and they tore through my group. We were 10 or 12, I think, and as they came to attack me, I just heard a very loud humming noise, and it seemed like something was protecting me, like it was like there was some sort of barrier around me, and I didn't pay it any mind. I just started running away. I left my group behind. I abandoned them. But when I came back to Londonland, I noticed that this adventuring sphere, it had lost its glimmer. It had darkened. And it seems, I think, I'm not sure, I never tried to do that again. It seemed like this sphere conjured some sort of protective field around me. And over time, it started to regain its glow, and eventually I made my way back to Kyria, but that's another matter entirely. I gave it to my brother as a protection. If whatever happened to me, I know that that sphere protected me, and I hoped that it would protect my brother, but oh, Blue, you foolish Blue boy, you should have kept it. But I see that you have it now, so well, that's all I know about it.
Interesting.
And as you look to the sphere itself, it does, weirdly enough, seems to be a little bit brighter than the first time you got it. It was a kind of a dull, dark gray, kind of silverish look. But now it looks to be a little bit lighter, more closer towards being
over.
white than dark. Come again?
Agnes. I call Agnes over.
Yes, what's up?
Why don't you try figuring out what it is now that it's glowing?
Oh. Like I said, that might be, well, no, according to this thing that you have said, mister. And then she looks over at Blue, or rather Green, says, it might be the Sphere of Protection, the artifact that is tied with the god, with the almighty Gaffadur. Have you heard the tale of the Almighties and the war? She looks over at you guys. Bits and pieces, I see.
I know a bit about Gaffadur.
She says, well, each of them had gifted humanity and mortal kind with artifacts of power, some of which were actual objects and some were more like gifts and innate powers, and the Sphere of Protection is associated with Gaffadur. Well, it was a myth. I always believed it was real, but I didn't think it would be this one that you guys have had. And now she looks more intently and more curiously at the adventuring sphere you guys hold. If this is really the Sphere of Protection of Gaffadur, this is unique. There's no other in the world like this. It's an artifact of communion with the Almighty Ones. There's no gold in this world that can pay for that.
And we just bought it for 25 gold.
And you, as you say that, you hear Green do a loud groan like, Blue, you fool.
Well, I also have to say this. It wasn't glowing back in Kyria. So I'm guessing its power has something to do with this land more than anything else. I'm just taking a guess here.
Do you think it could lead us somewhere? Like if it starts glowing, go?
Like I said, I don't know anything about it. I just had it lucked out. It saved my life, I think, and I gave it to Blue. I thought that being in Purgles, he would be able to talk with some academic, some scholar, and find out what that is about. But I see that he didn't.
be fair, Burgos isn't in a great state when we left.
And now you see this look of concern as you say that, and he looks over and says, "What do you mean?"
Exiles kind of may have started a civil war. We're not entirely sure.
And Blue, is he all right?
I kind of have to say this openly, so there's no way around it. I believe your brother is under the protection of the Thieves Guild.
His what?
He's under the protection of the Thieves Guild.
You just see Green do this kind of nod of understanding and says, "You're slightly mistaken on that, but well, I see things are not as good as I hoped they would be. Nonetheless, thank you, adventurers. Or settlers, I should say." Looks over at you guys.
We're adventurers, that was correct.
"Oh, I thank you. It is good to hear about my brother, but it pains me to hear about my brother, if you know what I mean.
At
Anyway,
least it's nice to hear from family."
Right you are. Sorry, I didn't catch your names. Who are you?"
I'm Hentai the Wet.
Around here.
Dracon Balder.
And Matthias Lucendi.
Summer lad.
And now introduces himself, Nadness as well. He looks over at all of you guys, and then he looks at Hentai with a weird face, and now it seems like it was the first time he noticed Hentai in the back of the group, looking like an octofolk, which is very out of place for whatever Green has been. Alright. Well, can I help you with anything, adventurers? Is there some item you would be procuring that I could help you with?
I would like a tentacle massage of that spot.
No,
He doesn't provide that kind of service. If you want that service, you're gonna have to head to a brothel.
Oh, can we go there next?
Hey. Do we need anything from the store right now, or do we just need to go?
Let's see how we fare at the blacksmith.
Yeah, because we probably need a lot of shit right now.
Yeah.
By the way,
Sure, Sam?
I asked to take a look at the sphere.
Come again?
What?
I asked to take a look at the sphere.
Okay, I show the sphere.
Can I hold it for a second?
I give you the sphere.
Then I kinda turn around and lift my hair up just to look at it.
Okay, Summerlad, now you lift up your hair bang that is always covering one of your eyes, and you look at this sphere with both of your eyes attentively and trying to look at it and see what is up with it. Are you trying to do anything specific?
No, I'm just looking at it to see if there's anything in particular about it.
Alright, make a religion check.
Religion?
Yes.
Can I enhance myself?
Sure.
Alright then. Wasting one spell slot. And then advantage. This is called privilege. Yay.
That's a good roll.
Roll it once more, see if you get a natural 20.
Nope.
No. But it's
Put you
good
with
enough.
advantage.
Alright.
You had advantage anyway, so.
Yeah. So, Summerlad, as you try to look at this sphere, you try to see if there's anything going on with it. If you try to see if there's, well, you just look intently at it, and it doesn't seem to do anything special. It just seems like the same sphere you have found a month ago, back in Purgos, and there's nothing particular about it. Just that, like everyone has said, it seems to be glowing a little bit more now, but there's nothing special about it. But also, as it does, if you feel some a burst of kind of energy over at you, and as you do, you roll a d20.
Oh, wait, I realize now what's happened.
You
A d20.
Yes.
Okay. 2.
All right. As you feel this energy coming down through you, you just close your eyes and try to shrug it off, and it takes you a lot of concentration, but you'll shrug it off, and it seems to leave you unaffected. Matthias, once again, you notice that there's some sort of energy was going on around Summerland. But other than that, nothing else happens.
I cover my eye back and give the spear back.
You give it back to who?
To Hentai was holding it, right?
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I put my tentacles on the spear and bags for safety.
Draken, you wanted to do something?
Yeah, I wanted to hold the sphere, see if it did anything.
From what you could have seen of Summerlad handling the sphere, didn't seem to do anything. It didn't change, it didn't shine brighter, nothing happened.
Okay.
Whatever happened with Summerlad, you feel like it hadn't anything to do with the sphere, since you have seen this effect happen with him before, and the sphere had nothing to do with it. But anyway.
Okay, let's head to Antal.
Alright, so you guys say goodbye to Green, Gustav.
We buy.
And you go out to the shop, and you turn immediately to your left, you already see the smithy, already clanging some metals. And then you show up to him.
So, wait. I just asked, are you going to the smithy now?
Yes, they just said that they are going to the smithy.
I want to go to that abandoned church now. There's something over there that I want to check.
Alright, so anyone wanna go with Summerland?
I have need at the smithy.
Yep, same here.
I'm the treasurer.
Alright, so Summerland, you go to the church on your own. You remember it's on the central plaza, just beside the tavern, weirdly enough. But as you go over
really
that
shouldn't
way,
be getting attacked in town.
Come again?
This early in the morning too, so it's fine.
And the rest of you're at the smithy, and you show up and you see these. Weirdly enough, you're at this point you're kind of used to seeing dwarves being smiths, but this time around you see a half elf just clanging at these metals. Who you assume is Antal, since he's alone in the shop.
Antal?
Oh, hello there. What can I help you with? He turns around and looks at you, and you see that he's he's a half elf. Like many you have seen before, nothing particular about him. Just that he has kind of blue hair, but other than that, nothing specific.
Flint? Matthias?
Alright. Walk up and tall, whip out my silver ore. And can you do anything with this?
He looks over at the silver ore and says, "Oh yes, I can do many things with it. What do you want me to do with it?"
Alright. I pull out one of my bullets. I would like casings that look like this.
Oh. He picks up the bullets and looks at them and says, "What are these?"
Oh, well, there goes my next question. I guess you don't have any black powder, explosive shit that I can put in there.
Oh, these are the so-called black powder pellets that they have over in Mythos.
Yeah, I guess they're not a thing here.
Not really. I come from Kyria, and Kyria doesn't have these.
Right. Well, I'm gonna need to learn how to make them then.
Well, I don't know, but I could try and figure it out, perhaps.
I'd give them a bullet to figure.
Yeah, because got a lot of bullets. I have a couple I took apart myself. If you want those.
Sure, I could try and look up into it. I have heard word about those gunpowder pellets, and I could try and look into it. No promises, but I could try.
Just think of it this way: figure it out. You have another thing to sell to the city guard.
He looks over at you and says, "Well, I happen to know that this does not work on itself. It needs something else, a tool."
It needs one of these, and I hold out my gun.
Then he looks over at your hand cannon and says, "That," and he points at it, "that I don't know how to make. I can make those black gunpowder pellets, but one of those, that would take much longer for me to figure out."
Alright, so I think you and we're gonna have a pretty good relationship going here, because I'm gonna be coming to you learning how to make shit myself.
Well, he kind of chuckles and says, "Well, I would be glad to teach you how to make shit yourself."
Yeah.
Gladly teach you how to shit yourself.
Right. And then, so Flint's done.
Yep.
Matthias pulls out the silver longsword and says, "We purchased this cheaply off of a man in another area, but I was wondering if you would be able to do repairs to clean up and sharpen up this blade here."
He looks up at the blade, and just from laying eyes on it, he screams like, "Yabarag Almighty, what have you done with that?"
You didn't do anything.
We didn't use it. It was sold to us this way. We got it
Well,
at a heavy discount.
it better have been a very heavy discount. That looks hideous.
75% discount.
Is that a silver sword?
Yes.
I could fix it up for you. At this point, it might be cheaper to just make a new one, but if you want it, I can try and fix it for you.
How much would that cost? Yeah.
Well, you see, and then he picks up the sword, he starts looking over it and then pointing things around it and says, "See here, the grip is damaged. It won't take much to wedge it out.
I want to insight check him.
Sure, roll an insight check."
Pull a fast one. Can I?
Yes, roll for insight.
I know nothing.
Boy, oh boy, you're rolling very badly today.
I know.
I mean, I could do insight check too, so
Feel free to do that.
I know nothing. You know everything.
oh, see,
Draken, you're completely enthralled by his tale. No matter what he's saying, he's leading you on, and you're like, oh, great. And Matthias, as you hear him say, he is right. You see that he is being earnest and telling the truth. This sword is very badly damaged, and it's bad, is what it is.
mm-hmm.
So he looks it over and says, "Well, for 40 gold, I could fix it, probably. Actually, let's make it 25. I don't think I'll need as much silver. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. So something between 20 and 40 depending on how much silver I end up wasting on this one.
And how much does making a whole new one cost? Just
100.
to 100, right?
Yeah, that's what the woman making them said.
Yes, to
Yeah,
make a
so-
new sword, it won't be much. It will be 100 to line it with silver, but a new sword, it on itself also costs a little bit extra. That would be 15 gold pieces for the sword plus 100 for the silver. Yeah, it would come around 120 with the handiwork included. But
Just doing the repairs probably cost us a bit less here.
yes, I
with
can't
what it
tell you
is.
for sure how much it'll be. Either between 20 and 40 gold, depends on how much silver I'll need. So I can't give you a heads up, but it's somewhere around that.
I pull out the Azurite gem and say, "Will you take this as a down payment, and we will gladly pay you the rest once the job is done?"
He just looks over at the gem and says, "Well, I'll have a hard time finding a use for that, but I guess you go and make a persuasion check, Draken."
Oh, I'm not great.
Your specialty.
Sam, help!
He shakes his head and says, "If only we had a jeweler in town, but we don't have one, so I have no use for that."
At least I can make an honest living here as a jeweler.
Yeah, sounds like it. Let's see. I pull out the maul that I got off of the werebore, and I say, "How about this as part of the payment for a down payment?" And I set it down.
Well, that is a good-looking mall. I guess I could pay 5 gold for that. We don't use malls here, but I could always smelt it down and reuse some materials.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring. So at least 5 gold there. And we'll figure out some. Then
pull
I
out
can.
the old rapier I have.
Sure. You wanna also put that in, Draken?
Yeah, the old rapier. Yeah.
He looks at the
What about-
rapier and it is exquisite. It's not a normal rapier. It's a rapier that you have had from your inheritage. And he looks at it and the handle is very, very exquisite and says, "Whoa. Alright, I would buy that not to smelt but to keep it. I could pay 20 gold for that one."
Okay, so 25 for the pair.
20.
And that will be exchanged for the work on it.
Alright.
And if it comes to any more after that, we'll discuss and get that cleared up.
Yes.
Can do. That should take me the best part of a day, so if you want to leave it here, maybe later tonight or tomorrow morning, I shall have it.
Yeah, we'll come back
Works.
tomorrow. Still got a list of things we need to do.
Alright. Anything else?
Alright.
Well, me and Matthias have to offload.
Yeah, I'm taking them all out of my inventory.
I gotta take the original rapier out.
Alright. Well, that's all I was needing.
Did I leave him silver?
Come again?
Did I leave him the silver? I thought I.
No, you just showed it to him. You want to leave him with the silver?
Yeah, no, I'll hold on to it all. Try and figure it out myself.
You could.
Are you gonna leave him with the bullets, the wasted bullets you had?
Those I will leave with him now, if he wants to experiment with them.
Okay. How many are you leaving?
I took apart the 2 wasted bullets before, so I'll leave those with him.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to re-input my rapier. D8. Finesse.
Yep. That is all.
D8. Finesse piercing.
Yeah. Piercing.
So as you guys are figuring those things out, Summerlad, you arrive at the church, and you go
Finesse
inside.
uses my dex, right?
Come again?
Yes.
Yeah, finesse, you can use Dex or Strength. For you, Dex, definitely Dex.
Okay.
Sam,
Uh,
as they are figuring that out, you arrive at the church.
okay.
You enter the church and you can see it hasn't necessarily been abandoned. It was definitely an inflation on the scribe's part. The church is not abandoned, it just doesn't have an allegiance of itself. You see that there are inside the church there are small statues erected to the many gods that people have, and you see that there are clothing on the windows and on top of chairs of different colors, and you see that each one of them has the symbol of all the other gods from Kyria and from Mythos, but you don't see any clothing or any symbol Trigglebeth here.
Okay, then, but do I...
Come again? Hello, Sam?
He's dead.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Something happened.
What did you say?
Do I see any of the gods that I worship?
You do see a couple shrines, little statues, and some icons that have been left.
I'm just
True.
testing out the rapier, don't worry.
Okay, true Fanfigure. Yes.
Okay, then I'm gonna go and pray to that shrine. But first, I'm gonna enhance myself.
You're gonna what?
How many times can you cast that?
I can cast 2 times per day.
All right.
Okay.
What's he casting?
Enhance ability.
Level 1. Okay, I'm gonna enhance myself for wisdom, because that's what religion is about, right?
All right.
No,
You cast on yourself Owl's Wisdom. Owl's
No,
Wisdom.
Intelligence, no.
Didn't you already cast wisdom a while ago? Has it been that long that you need to cast it again?
It only lasts about an hour for a day.
Okay.
No, I cast intelligence, sorry.
Okay, so you cast Fox Cunning and you get Intelligence, and then you.
Then I gonna go and pray to the statue, and I kneel down and put my holy symbol in front of the statue too.
All right. Make a religion check with advantage. So roll twice for religion.
Oh, that is not spirit. That is not a spirit too.
So you pray to Fanfigure, but you don't feel that close a connection to him. You feel like, despite Fanfigure, you can definitely feel him watching over you, but you feel that right now your connection to him is not as close as you would hope it to be. Something is on your mind that is not allowing you to focus on Fanfigure as well as you would have normally. And you imagine that it's because of that you just arrived into this new land, there's so much happening, you still haven't had time to acquiesce yourself with it. But you do feel a dark energy descend over you, as you do.
A dark energy, oh... Okay.
Anyway, anything else you wanna do?
Is there any statues of Yabarang?
Yabarag.
Yeah.
Yes, you do see several statues of Yabarag. They are, in fact, the most prominent here, seeing that most settlers came from Kyria. There's a lot of statues and symbols to Yabarag. It's definitely the most prominent in the church, but it's not the de facto religion of this place.
But can I determine what is the religion of this place by trying to look around?
You cannot. You just
Okay.
see that there's lots of worshipping happening to many gods here, but none of them hold any
Then
sway over
I'm
this land.
Sammy already.
Then I'm gonna go and
Explain
pray
that.
to. I'm gonna go and pray to the statue of Yabra too.
All right, roll another religion check with advantage. As you do.
Of course I get these rules.
Natural
Oh.
20.
All right. So, Sam, despite not being a follower of Yabarag, you do pray to her, and you feel her grace descend on you and cleanse this dark energy that you had felt before, and you also feel a little bit empowered by it. You feel like good things will happen. You don't know exactly what, but you feel this protection watching over you.
Okay, then I just say, even though I'm not a complete follower of you, I will spread your how do I say this? I will spread your faith alongside Fanfegor, as I too believe in you.
All right. The rest of you have finished up your business at the smithy?
Are we gonna meet up with Sam?
Not yet. I'm just asking because you finished up checking the attacks and whatnot.
Man, was there anything else we needed to do while we were?
Nothing that can't
no.
wait until.
All right, then let's find Sam and head.
Let's head to our land.
So,
You might hang on to that heading out for the next session.
yeah, we have been going on for 3 hours now. Do you guys need to go? Is it too late now?
Well, we can go a little bit. Here.
Tiger, we're on his clock.
Yeah.
So, how much further is it good for you, Tiger?
I can at least go another half hour, if a little more.
Half hour. All right, sure thing.
Mm.
So, you guys meet up with Summerlad in the Central Plaza as you, well, the group reunites. The Bing Squad is whole once again. And what do you do?
When I regroup with them, I give everyone a hug except Agnes.
Wow. Cold.
Wow.
Oh.
And I have this really happy look on my face.
As you do, Agnes should totally notices this, but she says nothing. She just looks at you with kind of a angrier face as she does.
Do I notice this?
No, she keeps it contained very well. She looks angrily at you when you're not looking, but when you go back to her, she's looking at her normal self, just perusing through her book.
So, what's up? I'm in good mood now.
We got our shit done. Land? Home? What are we gonna call it?
Said it's
Let's see
3
what it is.
hours. Because it's 3 hours that way, right?
3 hours that way.
3 hours-ish.
3 hours there, 3 hours back. By then, he probably should be done with the sword.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we can check it out.
Alright.
Got the whole day.
As you look up, you notice that by now it's 10, 11-ish in the morning. It's still pretty early.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's check out our place.
So you guys are gonna go over to your land.
Yeah, our plot.
Yep.
Alright. So the group reunites themselves and you guys decide it might be time. You have been in Nolyn for enough time, but you have already done most of what you could have done here. So you decide it's time to start walking towards our land. So all of you make your way to the west gate, which is to the right, weirdly enough, because that map is somewhat reversed. And now here in southern Nolyn, you guys start making your way west. As you do, you notice that there is a road that has already been paved, and the way, what direction was it? West. Just keeps going. Yes. West. Okay. The way west is paved and is good to go. You just noticed though that this road, because it's already paved, there probably isn't as many native creatures as you would expect. As it's grasslands and there's roads, it's pretty chill walk all the way over there. But you do notice that the road just keeps going, so you figure that there is the possibility that this road west leads through Lundaland, from what you have heard.
Might have to check that out at some point, but
Might have to what?
Might have to check on that road at some point, but in the meantime, Flint is just openly looking around. I mean, he knows it's not the right place for anything like that, but he's looking for anything that might attack.
And is anyone else just walking normally, trying to seek things around you? Anyone does anything weird?
Matthias is, since this is a new land, he's trying to get a perceive of everything and keep track of it so that he can make the journey back swifter.
Alright, so as you walk, Matthias, you're really memorizing the entire land, the landscape, the placement of things, and you feel like you have got the lay of the land pretty good by now. Anyone else?
No.
I mean, I'm just looking around in case anything happens.
Alright. So...
what time is it in the thing?
So...
It was more or less when we left.
Yeah, you walk for... It was 10 half-ish when you guys left. You walk for... 2.5-ish, 3 hours. You... At some point you guys kinda regret a little bit not deciding to go by feet instead of getting some horses or whatever. But it doesn't take you too long, and you eventually reach what are you doing, Sam?
I don't know.
Anyway, eventually you reach this mansion. And as you're walking, you see several fields with divisions, clear divisions, and you notice, actually you assume that those divisions are lands that were handed off to other people. And eventually you reach this mansion that, Matthias, you have noticed that by now you have walked 15 kilometers. So you feel this is our land, and there's already something built here.
That seems odd.
We don't
Do
have
you
to
notice anything odd about this mansion?
Make a perception check.
Yeah, I was about to say if I could do something.
Yep.
Go, you can do this. I believe in you.
Everyone, perception check.
I would like to, because I trust nothing.
21.
Oh, good.
Everyone rolls
20.
perception.
Yes, everyone. I'm gonna roll for Oni as well.
Considering,
Damn it!
Natural one. You look at
considering that, I'm like, yeah, this is the land, so this is odd.
Oh, Oni rolled a 6.
It's land.
No, he rolled a 4.
Well, he rolled a 6. Pretty much. So, Flint, Sam, Oni, and Hentai, you guys notice the land and you're kind of taken aback by there being already something built in this land. But Matthias and Draken, the both of you realize that there's something odd about this mansion, that it has already been here. It wasn't built recently. It was built a while back, and you notice that there might be something to it. You don't hear noises coming from inside the mansion, and
You do?
the both of you do. Matthias and Draken. You hear noises from inside the mansion. You can't very well discern what noises it is, but because of the thickness of the walls and how distant it is. But you do hear noises, and you think to yourself, okay, there's something going on. So,
any of this, he's just gonna march right up to the door, thinking it's him.
Yeah, pretty much. Matthias and Draken, the both of you roll an intelligence check as well.
What?
An intelligence check, just straight up intelligence.
Straight up intelligence.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Go, Matthias, go.
Tiger's the lucky one today.
Yeah. Well, Draken, you just realize that it's an old house that was already built and it was left behind. But Tiger, Matthias, from what you have been hearing and gathering from people talking, things you have also heard all the way back in Purgos, you notice that this house, also how old it is, it was built by one of the earlier settlers. But they probably died, and therefore their lands and everything in their lands was gifted to you guys. So whatever.
I turned to everyone. This was probably somebody's before ours, especially after looking at that document we all signed.
Yeah, well, ours now. I'm gonna go and open the door.
So, Matthias, you assume that this noise that you heard inside the mansion, whatever it is either there to poach and steal from it, or it's not alive.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh yeah.
So if you look over at this
Whenever you stop saying "oh no," you're gonna make the Kool-Aid guy come through the window again.
So you guys are over at this, standing in the front of the mansion. Let me just pause this music, and there's no other. I'm gonna play this song here now. So
just as a safety thing, I'm pulling out the silver rapier just to be ready for anything.
So as you walk next to the door of this mansion, by the way, have you guys found yourselves in the map?
What?
I changed the map. Have you guys found yourself in it?
I found it.
I
found the token. Party token.
see the party token.
Yes, that's the party token. However, how flipping ever, Flint is no longer in the party. He has
I'm at the door.
strolled up to the door and opened it. As you open the door, Flint, let me reveal this thing here. You notice that it's a big ass hall. Some sort of main hall to this mansion looking place that you are in. And I forgot to reveal this area here. And
Does it look run down as I'm thinking it does?
Come again?
Does it look old and run down?
Yes, it does look old, run down, and you can see that there is debris right a bit ahead of the entrance. And you also notice that there's a gigantic hole in the ceiling.
Yeah.
Right above this debris. And looking up, you can't very well see what's going on there, but you notice that part of the ceiling has collapsed.
Turn back to the rest of the party. It's a bit of a fixer-upper.
Still a big place.
And I'm just gonna continue on inside.
It looks so great.
At this point, I want to say I'm kind of behind him, just keeping an eye out for anything odd.
Alright, so Matthias and Draken, you guys are behind Flint.
Can I see that there is a hole in the ceiling?
From where you are, you can.
XP is 13 plus 6 days.
Okay, then I want to go and check the hole because I want to see if there's something about it.
Alright. Let me just put everyone on the table. There's a whole lot of people to put in this table. That's Oni and that's Adnis. Cool.
Oni.
And that's Hentai as well. So Sam, Summerlad, are you gonna push ahead of everybody and fly up the ceiling?
Yeah.
So right, if you do that, you're gonna use your daily use of your flight ability.
Well, yeah, but during short treks I get it back, so not that good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was actually gonna say, Sam, go ahead of us.
Yeah.
So Sam, you go over there to that big hole in the ceiling. As you go, you notice that there's a door to your right. Immediately to the entrance, ahead of the hole, there's a door to your left. To the right, there's a hall that you can see. It doesn't have a door, but what happens is that you notice. Just a moment, let me reveal this area. As you do try and fly up this hole, you come up to the second floor of the mansion, where there is also another hall. So if you guys would please look over at your right, you will notice that Summerlad is now flying over this big ass hole in the floor.
A lot of work.
And you are in the second floor. Everybody roll a perception check.
Perception.
Everybody.
Including me?
Yes, everybody.
Wow.
Oh, I am a very perceptive boy today.
I am too distracted by this big old house.
Today, you're the guy with the rolls. Tiger, let me roll for Adnis and for Oni. Perception.
And then Oni gets a natural 20. Oh,
Alright,
bad.
so Hentai, you rolled an 11, Draken, you rolled a 12, Flint, you rolled a 5.
Yeah, I'm opening that door. I don't even.
So Matthias and Oni, the both of you, well, Oni is not even here. The both of you realize that there is noises going on. You hear some kind of faint chanting going on, but you also hear some sort of guttural, low, groaning sounds.
Doug, I rolled 2 odd numbers again. Gosh dang it.
Yes, as you do. Sam, you feel that ping of dark energy flowing through you again, so roll a d20.
Ooh.
Natural 20.
Okay.
What? Oh.
This energy that you felt through you, you just shake your head and shrug it off again. Now is not the time to be taken aback by anything. There's more pressing matters going on, and you just shrug it off. And nothing happens.
Do I notice something in the second floor?
You do notice that there is south. There is a open hall to the right. Ahead of you, there's an open hall to the left, and there's a door to the right and another door to the right, much further down the hall. And at the end, you just see that there is this balcony that is open. You feel like there was supposed to be a door there, but there isn't anymore. So that's weird.
So I just say, more hallways and places without doors. Nothing to see up here.
Good to know. I'm gonna just door here.
Flint, are you gonna open that door?
I'm opening that door. I don't notice anything.
I yell up to Summerlad, you might want to come down here. We don't want to be split up.
And then, I was about to mention I heard something, but Flint is already opening that door.
So Flint, you open the
I was gonna
door.
say, wait.
And as soon as you open the door, you see 3 creatures over there who instantly take notice of you, and they're humanoid in look, but they look odd. They kind of shamble around a little bit, and they seem to be decomposing
What the?
Do I see this at all?
as they're walking. Draken, you don't see. Actually, nobody else sees this. Just Flint sees this.
Dog, where am I?
You are on the right. If you look on the map, there's another map to the right. You're above everyone.
I did very loudly shout, "What the shit are those?" Though.
And you notice that they all turn towards you, and you see that whatever the heck they are not friendly. And they look very intent on attacking all of you guys who has just shown up to quote-unquote their turf. And that is gonna be a battle. So we're gonna leave it off here today
Huh?
because it's already getting late and Tiger has to go.
Yep.
Okay.
But you do notice that your house, your recently acquired house, there's already something living there.
It's full of
Oh,
undead.
I'm gonna kill some undead.
Maybe
I
you
wanna
will.
keep one.
What?
Sam, you and Matthias are the undead specialists.
So, this is it for today, everyone. Hope you guys are looking forward to exploring the rest of this house next time around, because it's a big house. And, you know, you still have to figure out what the hell is going on with it.
And no more XP games.
And
Not
you guys
I already know what I'm.
do go ahead and get 100 experience points for finding your house.
Oh, yay.
Yay, we got a mansion that's full of undead. I feel like this was a bad reward.
Maybe. Who knows?
I told you it was a bit of a fixer-upper.
I wonder if they can speak.
If they can what?
I wonder if they can speak.
Normally, undead can't.
They, well, that would, I can't tell that.
There's
would-
a spell for that. This is me metagaming, but there's...
Yes, you
No,
would
I
have
know
to.
this spell.
You would have to figure that out, Sam.
Yeah, if you have the spell, you'd have to give it a try. Never know.
I don't have it now. I know this spell. I just know about it this time.
Well,
Not prepared.
I kind of have an understanding of how this works. Normally, undead don't speak unless you're their master.
Yeah, more or less. But anyway, maybe that book of yours has some information about them. And maybe Matthias has, you know, seen enough of this to, you know...
Matthias has seen some shit.
Yes.
Yes, precisely. And maybe he knows a little bit better about how to deal with them. So, hope you guys have enjoyed today's game.
Yeah, definitely.
Quite.
And that you're also looking forward to next time as you... well, as you continue to explore your mansion. And maybe also do other things in it, with it.
In it.
But anyway, thank you guys so very much for joining today. And yes, unfortunately, Oni could not be here with us, but fortunately, Hentai could. Or Zero.
Yeah, we'll get Noni next week.
Yeah, we'll totally.
Oh,
We'll
yeah,
need
Oni
him.
won't even be out till after 5. Poor boy.
Yeah,
4.
4 or
he
5.
gets at like 3, I think.
Oh yeah, by the way,
It's already
undead
3 here.
Are,
And if Oni's in the
undeads
same,
are weak to fire damage, right?
I mean, not that I would know that. I
Who
don't know
knows? Who knows?
what that is.
Without
have
too
to
much
do a-
metagaming?
Yes, we're metagaming.
Oh,
Let's try
you.
not to do too much of it.
Yeah, oh, you.
Okay, let's
Well-
talk about this later.
it will probably be an insight hit for me
Yeah.
because I know about them.
So yeah, next time we will see what they
But that'll be
actually.
next time.
Yeah,
What they actually are.
we will see what they are and what sort of roles you guys do to try and figure out what the heck is going on here. But anyway, we will talk more on the Discord about all of those things that are happening.
Yep.
Anyway, I'll be seeing you guys later. Have a great weekend, everyone.
YouTube.
YouTube.
too.
Bye.
Bye.
Yay, bye bye. And as per usual, to the people who are perhaps watching the stream, this was it. Some D&D, and I don't know why exactly the whole thing is not working with the desktop and the such, but I'm gonna try and figure that out and get that fixed for next time. It would be good to be able to see the game a little bit better and manage those windows and whatnot. But anyway, see you next time. Take care, stay awesome, and thank you so very much for joining us today. And sorry for the loud microphone as well. Anyway, have a great weekend. Bye bye.